Hello and welcome back everyone, we Weeb online, and today I'm gonna continue the story What If When Kurama Gave Naruto the Ultimate Dojutsu Part 6. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and to watch more videos like this, subscribe to my channel and turn that bell notification on so you never miss an upload. Now wasting no more time, let's begin.
I want to be able to have children with Naruto-sama. Kasumi expressed her desire. Kyuubi widened her eyes and turned to Kasumi, who was flushed from telling Kyuubi her favor. Kyuubi's jaw dropped slightly as she couldn't take her gaze away from Kasumi. Kasumi continued to stare at the ground for a moment longer before returning her gaze to Kyuubi. Kyuubi first smiled, then chuckled, then burst out laughing as the sex vixen tossed and turned on the grass while clutching her stomach. "Why you want kids with Naruto-kun?" Kyuubi inquired. Kasumi's blush deepened, but she nodded slowly. Kyuubi laughed for a few more minutes before stopping and leaning back against the tree, looking out over the plains. Kyuubi's eyes softened as the wind blew for a moment. "That's impossible, Kasumi," Kyuubi said flatly. Kasumi's eyes widened and she turned to face Kyuubi, who couldn't look into Kasumi's eyes because she knew what the girl was thinking. Kasumi softly smiled as she turned her gaze from Kyuubi to the ground. "I suppose it would be. I'm just a dog and Naruto-sama is a human. We're too different. It's just the the way he looks at me with so much love in his eyes and the way he caresses me when he gives me those kisses. I just want him so much more than that. For me, Naruto-sama is more than a potential mate. He's my first love and my only love, Cass. He's been so alone. I want him to see that I could have his kids as well, that we could be a happy family, even if we were too different. I guess it was a stupid request. I'm sorry, Kyuubi-sama. I'll go now," Kasumi said as she slowly rose to her feet. Kyuubi could only smile as he watched Kasumi's retreating form. Kyuubi took a few more steps before returning her gaze to the plains. Kyuubi dashed after Kasumi, squeezing her into a small but compassionate hug that startled the dog girl even more. "There is a way, Kasumi, a certain way for you to have children with Naruto," Kyuubi told her. Kasumi's eyes widened, but she smiled as more tears streamed down her cheeks. Kyuubi led her back to where they were sitting in the tree. Kyuubi placed her hands softly over Kasumi's and nodded, assuring the girl that she wasn't joking about her previous statement. "Kasumi, you can have children with Naruto, but it's impossible with you the way you are now," Kyuubi said. Kasumi raised an eyebrow because she couldn't understand what Kyuubi was saying. Kyuubi had a habit of coding things unnecessarily, which made Naruto uncomfortable a few times. "What do you mean as I am now? You said I could have children with Naruto-sama, so what's the problem?" Kasumi inquired. Kyuubi sighed, wondering how long this conversation would last. But Kasumi needed to hear it. What Kyuubi would tell Kasumi was something the girl had never considered. "What I mean, Kasumi, is that right now, you and Naruto-kun are two different beings, even different species. Remember, you're a dog and he's a human. In order for you to have his children, he would have to become a dog or half dog, or you would have to become a human or half human," Kyuubi said, effectively making Kasumi gasp and look at the ground. Kyuubi maintained her gaze on the girl because this was her life that Kyuubi was discussing. Kasumi quickly grasped what Kyuubi was saying, but turned back to the vixen in confusion. "But you and Naruto-sama are two different beings as well. You're a demon, and he's a human. I know there are rare cases where a demon and a human mate, and their children are called Hanyu. So why don't you have to change if you want his kids?" Kasumi questioned. At the prospect of having children with Naruto in the future, Kyuubi flushed a deep red that matched her vibrant hair. The reason for this is a rather complicated one. Humans and demons have both been around for nearly the same amount of time, so they have a few genetic similarities. Demons are generally the more powerful race, but humans are the most resourceful. Simply, for some demons, their reproductive organs, for some unknown reason, can correspond well to a human's. That's why I can have kids with Naruto-kun. You, however, Don. Kasumi looked at the ground once more before returning her attention to Kyuubi. When Kyuubi saw Kasumi's eyes, she raised an eyebrow. They appeared to be brimming with joy and self-assurance. "So what do you have to do?" "I'll do anything to have a family with Naruto," Kasumi stated confidently and solemnly, which Kyuubi noted. Kyuubi chuckled at her seriousness, which made Kasumi calm down and blush at her determination to have a future with Naruto. It made Kyuubi happy that Naruto could find a mate like this girl. "Well, Kasumi, I'm going to have to change your genetic map. For one thing, you won't be a full dog anymore. I'm sure Naruto would still want you to help him with the Inuzuka stuff and carry some of your heritage, so I'll be making you a half dog, half human woman," Kyuubi explained. Kasumi raised an eyebrow but was taken aback when Kyuubi pointed to her form. Basically, how you look now is how you'll be for the rest of your life, Kyuubi said, handing the girl a mirror. Kasumi looked down at her long black hair that reached her shoulders. Her breasts were covered in soft black foo, as were her slightly furry hands. Kasumi looked down and noticed her black tail swaying. Her canines were still there, but they were a little shorter. Her wolf-like ears perched atop her head. Kasumi gently touched her body and looked at Kyuubi, surprised and perplexed. So I'll never be a full dog again. And if I don't do this, I won't be able to have children with Naruto-sama, Kasumi inquired. Kyuubi, for whatever reason, felt burdened by these questions and nodded. Kasumi traced a finger across her jawline and down to her collarbone. She quickly wrapped her black, furry tail around herself and closed her eyes for a few moments. Kyuubi had been watching her the entire time, but she couldn't read Kasumi's reaction for the first time. Kyuubi considered bringing Naruto into the conversation, but Kasumi opened her eyes and turned to face her. Can we talk with Naruto-sama, Kyuubi-sama? Kasumi inquired. As Kasumi left the clearing, Kyuubi nodded. Kyuubi sighed, wondering what Naruto would think of all of this. Kyuubi established contact with Naruto and awaited his arrival, away from the mindscape. During Kasumi and Kyuubi's conversation, Naruto and Haku were busy packing their belongings so Naruto could move into the Namikaze compound. Naruto sat on the bed after noticing how small his apartment appeared with everything gone. Naruto examined the battered walls and nearly destroyed cupboards. Despite the numerous attempts on his life, he was astounded that none of this was broken. While Naruto was in a daze, Kasumi stirred, jolting the blonde awake. Naruto smiled at Kasumi, but it quickly faded when he saw her with a small frown on her face. Hey Kasumi-chan, did you have a good talk with Kyuubi? Naruto asked, growing nervous and curious about what they talked about. Kasumi jumped from Naruto's lap to the floor, only to return to find Naruto muttering to himself. Must be Kyuubi-sama talking to him, Kasumi observed as the blonde's lips moved back and forth. Normally, anyone would think someone was insane for talking to themselves, but Naruto was as out of the ordinary as guy was. Okay, maybe Kasumi exaggerated a little, but come on. So you and Kasumi-chan need to talk to me. Alright, let's talk, Naruto said as he made a cage bunshin and the same seals as before, allowing Kyuubi to roam freely. While Naruto turned to both Kasumi and Kyuubi, Kyuubi stretched her legs and sat on the bed. So, what do you want to talk about? Naruto inquired. Kyuubi motioned for Kasumi to say something because that was what she wanted, but Kasumi stiffened. She didn't know how to approach such a conversation because she'd never had one before, except with her father. And even then it wasn't this serious. Kyuubi sighed and turned to Naruto, who raised an eyebrow. Naruto-kun, it's not really my place to start this conversation, but it appears that Kasumi is having some difficulty, so I'll say it, Kyuubi began. Naruto's gaze shifted from Kasumi to Kyuubi. Kyuubi was about to say something when Kasumi interrupted her with a small yell. No, Kyuubi-sama, let me tell Naruto-sama about this because I love and respect him, and he should hear it from me, Kasumi said, drawing Kyuubi's gaze to her. Naruto remained perplexed, but turned to see Kasumi's eyes avoiding his gaze. Naruto's face fell as he realized Kasumi couldn't tell him what was on her mind. Naruto simply stood up, surprised both women, and took Kasumi into his arms. Kasumi-chan, tell me what's bothering you. You know you can talk to me about anything, and you also know I love you, Naruto pleaded. Kasumi considered his words as he looked down at his chest. Kasumi returned his gaze with a soft smile and a nod. Alright, Naruto-sama, Kasumi said, I want to have your kids and start a family with you. While Kyuubi and Kasumi waited for the words to sink in for Naruto, he widened his eyes. Naruto snapped out of his trance and returned his attention to Kasumi and Kyuubi. Please explain, Naruto asked. Both girls nodded and told him about their mindscape conversation. Kasumi expressed her desire for his children because she adored him, while Kyuubi informed him of the steps Kasumi would need to take in order to have children with him. Naruto was at a loss for words after everything was said and done. Kasumi was willing to give up nearly all of her genetic traits to make him happy. Naruto-sama, please say something, Kasumi pleaded, knowing that this was also about him. Kyuubi kept her gaze locked between Naruto and Kasumi, wondering how this would end for both of them. Naruto simply rose from his seat and walked in front of Kasumi. Because his hair was covering his eyes, Kasumi shuddered at the thought of doing something to irritate Naruto. Naruto closed the gap until he was directly in front of Kasumi, who hurriedly jumped to the ground. And Naruto-sama, I'm sorry I shouldn't have said that. You don't have to say anything. I'll just take it all ba. Naruto lunged at Kasumi, hugging her and scooping the surprised dog into his arms. Kasumi exclaimed as she noticed Naruto smiling and shaking his body. The tears, however, were from uncontrollable joy as Naruto smiled. "Thank you, Kasumi-chan. I can't believe you'd do this for me just to have such a happy life with me. I don't know what to say, but thank you. I thought it was impossible to have children with you as well, but I'm so happy that you want to have a family with me. It's ultimately your decision, but I just want to tell you how happy I am and I'll stand by any decision you want," Naruto said. Kasumi's eyes twinkled as she brushed her blonde boyfriend's chest. "Oh Naruto-sama," she simply said. Naruto chuckled as Kasumi licked his cheek before returning to a smiling Kyuubi. Kasumi jumped to the floor and approached Kyuubi, both blushing but smiling. "Kyuubi-sama, I've made my decision and I'd like to have a family with Naruto-sama. If that means I have to be a half-human, half-dog, I don't mind at all. I want to make Naruto-sama happy and have my own happiness. Please, change me from a dog to a half-human," Kasumi asked. Naruto backed away as Kyuubi chuckled and nodded. Kyuubi clenched her fists before performing some hand signs. After a few minutes, Yaoki began to flow from Kyuubi into Kasumi, while Kyuubi's eyes darkened slightly. "What's going on, Kyuubi-chan? Why did your eyes change color?" Naruto inquired. Kyuubi remained focused on Kasumi's form, but she was able to answer Naruto's question without taking her gaze away from the semi-anxious Kasumi. "I'm looking at her internal structure. I can see her genetic map, if only a little. I was connected to you so I could get a better look at yours, but since me and Kasumi are separate, I can only do it this way. I'm manipulating my Yaoki through her body. It's difficult because my Yaoki is poisonous to humans and animals. It's going well so far. I simply need it to slowly move throughout her body and it will change her gene." Naruto sat on the bed, slowly nodding. If Kyuubi was correct, Kasumi's life would be in a near-death experience for 30 minutes. All of this made Naruto's heart race faster and faster, but he didn't dare to leave. He knew Haku would be waiting for him in her room, but he needed to be here now. Whether she succeeded or failed, Naruto would stay close to Kasumi to reassure both her and himself. "Be careful, Kasumi-chan, Kyuubi-chan," Naruto thought as he watched Kyuubi and Kasumi interact slowly. He wasn't sure why Kasumi would want to put her life on the line for him and her happiness, but seeing his companion put her life on the line for his happiness made Naruto's heart skip a few beats. After 15 minutes, Naruto sighed softly to avoid disturbing Kyuubi's concentration. Naruto rose slowly from his bed and made a simple hand sign. "Kage Bunshin no Jutsu," he said softly as a clone appeared. Before the clone could say hello, Naruto placed his hand over its mouth, effectively silencing it, before handing it his suitcase and some other items. "Please meet with Haku-chan and assist her in moving these items to the Namikaze compound. I can't leave Kasumi-chan or Kyuubi-chan like this, so do this for me," Naruto instructed the clone. The clone looked over to see Kyuubi staring at Kasumi, while red chakra floated around her form. The clone recognized the image and gave a silent nod before disappearing without a trace. Naruto laughed, and he thanked Kami for teaching him how to move without making a sound. Naruto sat back on the bed, watching Kyuubi and silently praying to Kami that this would work. Using the clone, Naruto appeared in front of Haku's door with everything the boss had given him and knocked. Haku quickly opened it and glared at Naruto before the clone gulped and backed away slightly. "I apologize for the delay, but the boss is busy and assigned me to assist you with moving the items into the compound," the clone explained. While looking at the grinning clone, Haku's glare softened. She soon sighed and nodded, knowing she'd get the information one way or another. Haku grabbed her belongings as she and the clone walked away. "So what's Naruto-kun up to that he can't help me?" Haku asked the clone, his innocent smile masking danger. The clone gulped and wondered why the boss had such an odd taste in dangerous women. But as a clone, he could answer that question himself. The truth was that Haku was far more attractive than the girls at the academy. It was ironic because she was an ice user. "Well, it'll take some time to explain, so let's go for a walk and talk," the clone said, and Haku nodded. The clone and Haku walked through the village streets, passing between the Aburame and Hyuga clans. Both meet up with Kiba, who just wanted to see what the compound looked like. Kiba told Haku and Naruto about his experience with seeing a man-beast clone jutsu with one of the females as Team 7 walked through the narrow passageway and into the woods. Needless to say, Naruto and Haku were amused when they heard Kiba fainted and awoke for several minutes. "Now I understand why you have feelings for Kasumi, Naruto. If she's anything like our females, which I know she is, then you must have one sexy mate," Kiba said as Naruto blushed. Haku chuckled and smiled as he nudged Naruto on the shoulder. While the teammates continued to walk through the woods, Naruto's blush deepened. Naruto and his group arrived at a medium-sized house after about 12 minutes of walking. That appears to be it, but what is that aura around it? Kiba inquired. Naruto approached the building but was stopped by what appeared to be a barrier, so he placed his hands on it. It appears to be a blood seal barrier, but only Tusan or Ka blood sands can open this door, Naruto said as he took out a kunai and sliced a small piece of his thumb. As the team heard several gears turn and the seal vanish, Naruto let the blood pour over it. As they all went inside, the house became more accessible. Naruto noticed that everything was lovely. There were many flowers in the yard, as well as a small pond. The house appeared to be relatively new, so it was obvious that it had been cleaned. Naruto noticed a seal on the door and put his hand on it. The door automatically opened, allowing the team to enter. Wow, this place appears to be so nice and quaint. I wonder if there are any scrolls in here. Perhaps you have your own jutsu vault. Naruto, Kiba said to them. Naruto and Haku chuckled but continued to look around. The house appeared to be quite simple. It had a comfortable living room that was connected to the kitchen. Following the staircase were approximately 6 rooms, each with its own bathroom and shower. Naruto, Kiba, and Haku went upstairs to look around after peering through the downstairs items. There were 4 additional rooms, including the master bedroom and 3 other rooms. Naruto also noticed and opened a door in the far back. Duck! Naruto yelled as he landed on the ground, prompting Haku and Kiba to follow as 20 kunai, 12 shuriken, and 3 windmill shuriken appeared and struck the far wall behind them. Kiba and Haku both gasped, and Naruto laughed. I guess Tusan didn't want anyone in here, so let's go in and keep our guard up, Naruto said. Both obeyed and increased their alertness. Naruto attempted to find a light switch and illuminated the room, revealing a large bookcase containing numerous scrolls. Naruto's eyes sparkled, and Kiba and Haku's jaws dropped. Kiba had his arm around Naruto's shoulder before he realized it. Well, Naruto, you better use your cage bunchins, because if you try to read these yourself, you'll never be done, Kiba said as Naruto nodded. Naruto walked away, deciding to check those later. Well, let's get started, Haku-chan, and since I'm the clan leader, I'll take the master bedroom, Naruto said with a sly grin. Kiba snickered as Haku narrowed her eyes. Haku closed her eyes and smiled innocently, the Oni mask behind her growing larger and larger as the clone sweat dropped and Kiba moved to the far back next to the bookcase. Just because you're a clone doesn't mean I can't cause you pain. Naruto-kun, I'll be more than happy to give you the master bedroom, right? Haku chuckled. As Haku walked away with her belongings, Naruto nodded dumbly. She might even be more of an alpha female than Sum-chan. Ka-san, Naruto and Kiba both thought as Naruto picked up his belongings and helped Kiba move them into the bedroom. Returning to Naruto, Kyuubi, and Kasumi, Naruto kept staring at Kyuubi, who was nearly finished and was putting the finishing touches on Kasumi's form. It had been more than half an hour, but Naruto didn't seem to mind. He only wanted Kyuubi to finish and Kasumi to be fine. Kyuubi sighed slowly as the red chakra faded. Kyuubi leaned back on the bed, wiping sweat from her brow. Well, I think that does it, Kyuubi said as Naruto noticed Kasumi resting on the ground. Naruto cocked his brow and looked to Kyuubi for an answer. But Kyuubi-chan is still a dog, shouldn't she look more human? Naruto questioned. Kyuubi chuckled and rested her head on the soft bed's pillow. She'll change in about 3.2.1 minutes, Kyuubi predicted as Kasumi was enveloped in smoke. Naruto focused his attention on the last place he saw Kasumi, and the smoke. The smoke dissipated in less than a minute, leaving a beautiful girl with black hair and a black tail that swayed slightly. Naruto's entire face flushed as he stared at the unconscious half-human half-dog girl. Kasumi-chan, Naruto inquired as the girl moved. Kasumi opened her eyes and focused her attention on Naruto's form before charging into him, causing both of them to fall back onto the bed. Did it work, Naruto-sama? Kasumi inquired, her tail swaying in anticipation of an answer. Naruto's blush deepened, and he fought back a powerful nosebleed with all his might. Calm down, Kasumi-chan is super hot. Oh, who am I kidding? She's too damn hot right now. No, I'm not a pervert, but hot damn. Naruto mused. Kyuubi smiled and handed Kasumi a mirror. Kasumi smiled as she examined her entire body. Kasumi returned her attention to Naruto and smiled at his reaction. So, Naruto-sama, am I now a hot female? Kasumi asked, striking a sexy pose. Naruto dropped his jaw as Kyuubi stood up and walked towards the door, which surprised Naruto. Kyuubi-chan, where are you going? Naruto inquired, his voice a little helpless. Kyuubi smiled back as she opened the door to the outside. Well, I'm going to help Kiba and Haku set up the house, and I'll also put up a privacy seal around the house for some reason, Kyuubi said before closing the door. Naruto turned back to Kasumi, who appeared to be breathing heavily while looking at him, and noticed a hidden grin before his senses kicked in. Before placing his hand on Kasumi's body, Naruto raised an eyebrow. Kasumi stiffened as Naruto leaned forward. "Are you okay, Kasumi-chan?" Naruto inquired. Kasumi struggled to respond, but managed to do so with a Hinata-style blush across her face. While Naruto sniffed the air, Kasumi leaned on Naruto's shoulder. "What is this honey scent? It smells sweet and needy." "Oh crap," Naruto exclaimed as he looked at Kasumi. Kasumi had a desperate look in her eyes as she crawled up to Naruto, while the blonde moved back until he hit the wall, leaving him with nowhere to go as Kasumi approached. Kasumi licked her lips and smiled seductively at Naruto. "Naruto-sama, I think this timing is convenient for me and you. I am in heat, Naruto-sama, and I need you right now. I'll go insane if I don't have you, and I'd rather go insane than do this with anyone else," Kasumi asked. Naruto stuttered and blushed, but he knew he couldn't say anything useful because the words had already left his mouth. Naruto noticed Kasumi was only inches away from his face and couldn't move. "K Kasumi-chan, why you just got this transformation? Why you must be tired right now. Maybe YUS should get some rest or a shower, yeah. A very cold shower right now and..." Naruto paused as he felt Kasumi's lips brush against his. Naruto's eyes widened as Kasumi wrapped her new arms around him and leaned back, causing him to fall on top of her. "Oh Naruto-sama, I need nothing right now except you. Now please hurry and do something for me or I'll lose it. This is the first thing I wanted to do with you when I became a half-human. I want to be Naruto woman. Sama's so fuck me Naruto-sama. Please fuck me," Kasumi exclaimed. Naruto's restraint vanished as his lips collided with Kasumi's. Naruto smiled as he pulled away from the kiss. "All right, Kasumi-chan, become my woman and we'll raise a family together in the future," Naruto said. Kasumi nodded and rested her soft, slightly furry hands on Naruto's chest. "I'd love that, Naruto-sama," Kasumi said as Naruto chose his next wife. Naruto gently pressed his lips against Kasumi's, feeling the softness of them against his mouth. Naruto placed his hand behind Kasumi's head and pushed her forward, deepening their kiss. Kasumi encircled Naruto's body with her arms. As their bodies heated up, their tongues danced in their mouths. The sensation of Kasumi's fur made Naruto feel even hotter, but he didn't care. In fact, he was relieved that she could react in such a way. Kasumi pouted when Naruto broke the kiss for a second, but he silenced her with a strong kiss on her neck. Kasumi let out a low moan as Naruto massaged one of her thighs. Kasumi's tail swayed back and forth quickly, expressing how she felt about the situation. "Oh Naruto-sama, that feels good," Kasumi said as Naruto traced a small line across Kasumi's chest with his left hand. Naruto received a pleasant moan in response and leaned forward to nibble on Kasumi's right ear. Kasumi gritted her teeth, trying to fight off the approaching moans, but she kept failing until Naruto brought his tongue down and licked Kasumi on the cheek, then back down. Kasumi let out a low growl and reached for Naruto's black jacket, starting to unzip it. Kasumi fumbled with the zipper for a moment because she hadn't used her hands much before, but her efforts paid off, and she slowly removed Naruto's jacket and placed it on the floor near the bed. Kasumi saw another black sleeveless shirt and growled, sharpening her claws and ripping the clothing off Naruto's body, revealing his ripped chest to her. Kasumi licked her lips, but she let out a loud and unexpected moan as Naruto smirked. "So Kasumi-chan, are you that desperate to get me naked?" "Not so fast in Yuheim. I'm going to control the pace here," Naruto said, placing both his hands on her fur-covered breasts and kneading and playing with them. Kasumi threw her head back as she discovered her breasts were extremely sensitive. "But then Naruto-sama, I can't," Kasumi tried to say, but Naruto's kiss silenced her. Kasumi simply let go, allowing Naruto access to all of her vulnerable areas. Kasumi's breathing became increasingly difficult as she felt Naruto's chest against her own. Kasumi rubbed her claws slowly over Naruto's chest, admiring his toned body, which had been subjected to rigorous training since the day she met him. Naruto quickly removed his hands from Kasumi and removed the torn remains of his shirt, fully exposing his chest, causing Kasumi to blush and growl lowly, indicating that she really wanted him back on top of her. "My turn, Naruto-sama," Kasumi said as she jumped on top of him, surprising the blonde. Naruto's eyes widened as Kasumi anticipated his surprise and sealed his lips with her own. She abruptly moved her hands down his body to his remaining pants and rubbed his lower abdomen. Kasumi smiled as Naruto clenched his teeth at her gentle hand. Kasumi continued to rub his lower abdomen and exclaimed as she felt a bulge in his boxers threaten to rip them apart. "Wow, Naruto-sama, you're so big, I don't think I'll be able to control myself if you take me," Kasumi said, licking Naruto's neck. Naruto felt great with Kasumi's tongue all over him. When Kasumi licked his cheek unconsciously, he softly chuckled, but it felt different. Her tongue traced his whisker marks, causing him to growl in delight. "Hey Kasumi-chan, that feels great. How do you do it?" Naruto inquired. Kasumi laughed and gave him a sly look as she wrapped her hands around his pants and started slipping them off. "Right now, I'm going on instinct. Naruto-sama, you seem to be having fun, so I'll continue and make you growl for me." Kasumi responded as she pulled Naruto's pants completely off, leaving only his boxers, which she placed near his shirt. When she saw Naruto's boxers twitch from his member, Kasumi crawled back up to them and stared at them hungrily. Naruto noticed her tail swaying with her eyes, as if she was transfixed by the movement. He soon chuckled before jolting Kasumi awake and pinning her against the wall. "Well, Kasumi-chan, since you're going to play games, let me play mine," Naruto said, tightening his grip on her breast and eliciting a moan from her delicate lips. Naruto's mouth traced down her body, while his left hand stimulated her hairs. Naruto sank even lower and came to a halt in front of her exposed sweet spot. Note to self, get Kasumi-chan some clothes as soon as possible. Only I get to see this, Naruto thought as Kasumi looked down to see Naruto staring at her. Kasumi blushed, then let out a shrill scream as Naruto latched onto her pussy and began to lick her chambers. Kasumi, who had never felt anything like this before, easily gave her first orgasm as Naruto lapped at the liquids. Kasumi sighed, and Naruto winked at her. Naruto said to Kasumi-chan, "Delicious Kasumi-chan, very sweet." Kasumi exhaled heavily. But Naruto wasn't finished yet, and he slipped 2 fingers as he played with her already soaked walls. While Naruto looked at his vulnerable Kasumi, Kasumi arched back and widened her eyes as her hands gripped the sheets, almost tearing them apart. "Wow, Kasumi-chan, you're dripping wet. Are you this excited by me?" Naruto inquired. Kasumi attempted to respond, but her words escaped her as Naruto removed his finger from her twat. Kasumi jumped Naruto and quickly removed his boxers in the confusion before he could recover. Kasumi licked her lips again as she stared at the thick rod in front of her. "Oh Naruto-sama, please give me a taste of what's in front of me," Kasumi said, devouring his meat before he could respond. Naruto clenched his teeth as Kasumi let go of his cock and gave it a small lick. "It's so big, Naruto-sama. I'll never mate with anyone if you're this difficult," Kasumi said as she reinserted his cock into her mouth. She began to bob her head up and down instinctively while her other hands fiddled with her soaking spot. Naruto tightened his grip on the sheets as Kasumi continued her new movements. "K Kasumi-chan," Naruto said as he fired his white load into Kasumi's mouth. Kasumi's eyes widened, but she swallowed it all and quickly released Naruto's dick. "That was fantastic, Naruto-sama. It's so hot, sticky, and salty, but really good," Kasumi said as she climbed back into bed. Kasumi quickly got down on all fours and shook her ass at Naruto, enticing him to claim her and pound her like there was no tomorrow. Naruto, never one to ignore a woman, quickly placed his member near her and slowly inserted it, much to Kasumi's chagrin. "Come on Naruto-sama, you don't have to worry about hurting me. Just pound me Naruto-sama. Claim me, dominate me, make me your bitch," Kasumi screamed at the top of her lungs as Naruto plunged deep into her. Kasumi's entire body shook with pleasure as Naruto rocked his hips back and forth, causing the bed to shake. Kasumi exclaimed and leaned against the wall in front of them as Naruto kept up the pace, rolling her eyes back like she was in heaven. "Oh Naruto-sama, it's great. Harder Naruto-sama. Give your bitch a good fuck," Kasumi exclaimed, causing Naruto to accelerate even more. Kasumi's animal side began to emerge unconsciously, which Naruto noticed. Naruto's whiskers became more defined, his fingers developed claw marks, and his teeth developed canines. As Naruto flipped Kasumi over and fucked her good, the pleasurable moans were quickly replaced by loud growls and grunts. Kasumi, in turn, gripped Naruto's back, leaving claw marks, but he didn't care enough. Naruto had only one desire right now, to mate with Kasumi. "Yes, Naruto-sama. I believe I'm getting close. I can't hold myself any longer," Kasumi yelled as Naruto delivered a final thrust. "Kasumi-chan, I'm coming," yelled Naruto as he drenched Kasumi in his white liquid. Kasumi slumped to the floor, beads of sweat running down her face as she felt the warm sperm enter her body. As Kasumi turned to face Naruto, he huffed and leaned back. "That was amazing, Naruto-sama," Kasumi said, but Naruto caught a second wind and returned to Kasumi's entrance. "Sorry, Kasumi-chan. But you're not leaving this bed until tomorrow. We're going to spend a lot of quality time together, Naruto said as he retreated into Kasumi. Kasumi's moans echoed throughout the room, as both were relieved that Kyuubi had installed a privacy seal on the door. Needless to say, Kyuubi had assisted Kiba in unpacking Naruto's clothes and belongings after the clone had vanished for some unknown reason earlier. The following day, Naruto dozed off in his ripped-up bed with Kasumi, who rested her head on Naruto's chest. Naruto smirked as he ran his hand through Kasumi's raven hair. As he went to answer the door, Naruto heard a knock and began cursing whoever it was. Naruto twisted the lock and opened the door, only to find Kakashi standing in front of him. Naruto narrowed his eyes because he wanted to spend more time in bed with Kasumi, but he wasn't about to tell Kakashi. When it starts with Kakashi, word spreads quickly, and Naruto wasn't about to take any chances. "Can I assist you, Kakashi-sensei?" Naruto asked, his gaze telling the Jonin that he wasn't wanted at the moment. Kakashi chuckled sheepishly and rubbed the back of his neck while smiling at his student. "Well, Naruto, I apologize for interrupting your morning. May I come in?" Kakashi asked. Naruto narrowed his eyes at Kakashi and shook his head quickly. "Sorry, Kakashi-sensei, but you can't right now. What is it?" Naruto asked, eager for the man to get to the point. Kakashi seemed to notice but said nothing before informing Naruto. "Hokage-sama has summoned you and the rest of Team 7 for a mission," Kakashi said as he disappeared in a shunshin. Naruto sighed and grumbled about being told things at the wrong time, but quickly changed his clothes and opted not to wear the Jonin vest this time because he didn't have anything to go with it. So he simply wore his black jacket with a red shirt and black pants. Naruto stood over Kasumi, brushing his teeth with the items he had left over in the apartment. "Kasumi-chan, it's time to wake up Mayan Yuhaime," Naruto said softly as Kasumi opened her eyes. Kasumi smiled and awoke her blonde companion. Naruto-sama, do we have anything planned?" Kasumi inquired. Naruto nodded and told her about the mission they needed to complete and the Hokage they needed to see, which made Kasumi complain about wanting more quality time with Naruto but eventually agreed. Kasumi borrowed some of Naruto's clothes for the mission because she didn't have any of her own. Naruto and Kasumi dashed out of the apartment and toward the Hokage mansion. The Hokage mansion. When Naruto and Kasumi entered the room, they were greeted by Haku, Kiba, Kakashi, and, surprisingly, Anko and Kurenai. Everyone turned to look at Naruto, but no one recognized the girl he was with. "Naruto, this is for us only. You'll have to ask the girl to leave," Kakashi said, while Naruto glared at him, but eventually settled because Kakashi didn't know. "What are you talking about, Kakashi-sensei?" "You know who this is," Naruto said, causing Haku and Kiba to smirk. As Kasumi sat on Naruto's lap, Kurenai and Anko raised an eyebrow. "I think I'd remember who such a cute girl was, Naruto," Kakashi said, as if to remind himself. Naruto scoffed as he turned to face his one-eyed sensei. "Just like you can remember to be on time for our meetings, right, Kakashi-sensei?" Naruto asked, looking at Kakashi, who was pale. Haku and Kiba laughed along with Anko and Kurenai as Kakashi took out his orange book, much to Kurenai's chagrin and Anko's fascination. "Touche, Naruto," Kakashi said, turning away from the two. Haku appeared and smiled. "Isn't that Kasumi?" Haku inquired, causing Kakashi to spin around and Anko to widen her eyes. Kurenai appeared to be lost for a few moments before dropping her jaw as the three Jonin looked at Naruto's dog companion. "And the cat's out of the bag, or in this case, the dog," Kiba laughed. Naruto nodded as Kasumi nuzzled into Naruto's chest, raising a few eyebrows. "What?" Naruto inquired, but everyone turned away from him, particularly Kiba, Anko, and Kakashi. "Those two smell like sex. How in the hell did Naruto score that?" Kakashi and Kiba both wondered. "Wow, she seems really happy in his arms. I wonder how good the Gaki is in bed. Maybe I should take an interest in him," Anko thought, causing Kurenai's eye to twitch. After 3 minutes, Sarutobi entered the room and sat in his seat. He looked at Kasumi for a moment, but didn't have time to discuss such matters right now. Naruto waited for his jiji to begin, but jumped for a split second before calming down when he felt Kyuubi's presence return to the seal. "Did you rock her world, Naruto-kun?" Kyuubi inquired, genuinely interested. They had better have done something worthwhile after all of her efforts. Naruto blushed before chuckling and speaking softly. "It was fantastic, Kyuubi-chan. Maybe next time you'll have a chance at me," Naruto said as Kyuubi licked her lips and sat on the mindscape grass. "You challenging me, Kit?" "I'll win," Kyuubi said. "Just try it, Kyuubi-chan." "I'll be glad to show you," Naruto said, but both of them stopped when Sarutobi began to speak. "Alright, everyone is here. I have a mission for you all. We recently heard of another attempt by Odo and they are trying to get Iwa to back them up this time. Your mission is to stop Oto from reaching Iwa and deal with them accordingly. Naruto-kun will be the leader of this mission as a way of dealing with his new position. I want everyone to leave by close to midnight tonight, that is all, Sarutobi said to everyone. Everyone bowed, but a smile spread across their faces as they looked at Naruto. Hello, Hokage-sama. The Hokage mansion from the outside. Naruto and the others left the Hokage mansion after receiving their mission from the Hokage to begin packing for the trip. Naruto grinned at the prospect of leading an official mission, but he was well aware of the risks involved. Naruto didn't want to fail, so he knew what he had to do. The fox boy sighed and returned his attention to his team. They had about 8 hours before they had to leave, so Naruto decided to issue a simple command. Kakashi-sensei, could you please tell me how good you think Iwa shinobi are? Naruto inquired. Naruto had a general idea thanks to Kyuubi's teaching, but it was always good to have a second opinion. Everyone's attention was drawn to Kakashi, who looked up from his book and stared at the blonde. Well, Iwa is quite powerful. I can see why Oto would want to ally with Iwa. Iwa has always harbored a deep resentment toward Konoha since they lost the war due to Minato-sensei. It's best not to underestimate them, Kakashi said. Naruto narrowed his eyes and looked down. Everyone looked at Naruto, who appeared to be muttering to himself before meeting their gaze once more. Alright, I've got a formation in mind, but for now, let's pack and head to the gates, Naruto instructed them. Everyone nodded and split up, with Naruto and Haku heading to the Namikaze compound. Naruto noticed Kasumi walking with them and couldn't help but smile because she was a human. Well, technically half human, but still human in some ways. Kasumi blushed as she felt Naruto's gaze on her, causing her tail to sway back and forth slightly. Naruto exclaimed and turned to face a clothing store. Haku-chan, go back to the compound. I need to get Kasumi-chan some clothes, Naruto said. Haku nodded and quickly vanished into the crowd, while Naruto dragged Kasumi into a clothing store. What are we doing buying clothes, Naruto-sama? Kasumi inquired. Naruto smirked and turned to Kasumi, surprising her with a hug while whispering in her ear. I told you, Kasumi-chan, I'm the only one who gets to see you in such a beautiful body, and I'm not going to let any other guy stare at you, Naruto said. Before Naruto took Kasumi to get some clothes, she blushed and nodded. Kasumi, who isn't particularly fond of clothes, decided to let Naruto choose what she would wear. Naruto, who dislikes girls' clothing, asked Kyuubi for assistance, which the vixen gladly provided. Naruto dressed in a sleeveless red shirt and tight black jeans. Naruto let Kasumi try them on, and if they weren't in a clothing store, Naruto would have jumped her right there. How do I appear, Naruto-sama? Kasumi inquired. Naruto nodded and took the same shirt, only this time it was blue, and some navy blue girl jeans. As the blonde placed the clothes on the counter, Kasumi modeled them all for Naruto. Naruto also had to pick out some undergarments for Kasumi and deal with the various blushes and murmurs from the female population as he quickly selected what he thought would fit Kasumi. Naruto gathered everything and placed it on the counter. The saleswoman looked at him incredulously before pointing to Kasumi, who was sitting on a chair. The woman bowed her head and blushed. I apologize, sir, I just suspected that. I was a pervert. Naruto finished her sentence. Naruto sighed as the woman nodded. He simply told her to set it aside and ring up the bill. Kasumi simply sat on the bench while Naruto finished her shopping. The total is 6,769 yen, said the woman. Naruto nodded, took out his wallet, and handed the woman the specified amount. Naruto began to mutter as he looked at all the money he still had from defeating the rank missing nin from Kumo. Naruto called out, Kyuubi-chan. Kyuubi jerked awake on her bed, yawning briefly and stretching. Yes, Naruto-kun, Kyuubi said. Remind me to open a savings account. I don't want to spend all of this money, so I'll have to save some for later, Naruto told her. Kyuubi calmly returned to sleep after nodding that she would remind him. Naruto walked out of the store with Kasumi and towards the compound after finishing her shopping. Kasumi followed Naruto and simply enjoyed the scenery. She took in many of the sights she was used to, but there was something special about seeing the world through human eyes. She could now see things in color, which she found fascinating. Naruto smiled as he noticed Kasumi's surprised expression, but he knew why she was so happy. Naruto stopped walking when he noticed a glint in his eye. Kasumi continued walking, unaware that he had stopped, until her lips collided with something soft. Kasumi's eyes widened as she noticed Naruto kissing her in public. Some people blushed at the sight, while others scowled at the thought of a girl falling in love with the demon child. While Kasumi stared at Naruto for a few moments, he released his lips from hers. Was that for Naruto-sama? Kasumi inquired. Naruto smirked and scratched his cheek, his gaze averted from Kasumi. Just a simple I love you, Kasumi-chan, Naruto said as he walked away. Kasumi remained in the streets, but quickly followed him with a smile on her face. I will never be sorry for my decision, Naruto-sama, Kasumi said as she chased after her blonde compound Nemikaze. As the girl took in the sights for the first time, Naruto and Kasumi approached the compound. While Naruto unlocked the compound, Kasumi took in the fresh air. Naruto got a good look at the compound, remembering his clone from yesterday, and it all made him smile. The fact that Naruto's mother was still alive made it even better. Okay, Kasumi-chan, let's go inside and get ready, Naruto said. Kasumi nodded as they entered the house and noticed Haku running around. Naruto had a puzzled expression on his face, while Kasumi tried her hardest to mimic Haku's movements. Observing the ice user move so quickly, Naruto wondered how much her speed had improved as a result of the training. Why are you running around the house, Haku-chan? Naruto inquired. Haku paused for a moment before turning his gaze to Naruto. Haku had a frantic expression on her face and lunged at Naruto, nearly knocking the blonde down. Where's my sword? I can't find Zabuza's sword, Sama's which I know I had, Haku said, trying to recall where she had hidden her prized sword. Naruto and Kasumi both sweat dropped, drawing Haku's attention back to him. Did you check your room, Haku? Naruto inquired. Haku paused and gave Naruto a blank stare in anticipation of a response. Haku maintained his expression as he ran past Naruto and up the stairs into her room. Naruto laughed with Kasumi as she walked up the stairs. Naruto entered the master bedroom and let out a small depressed sigh upon seeing how empty it was. When Naruto turned his head, he saw a small image of his mother and father while Kushina was pregnant. Naruto wiped his hands across the photo and sobbed softly for his father. Kasumi was watching the action and desperately wanted to console Naruto. It hurt her to see her normally strong, funny, and always smiling blonde looking so sad and vulnerable. Kasumi simply exited the room, shut the door, and walked downstairs. Hey Kasumi, where is Naruto-kun? Is he packing? Haku inquired. Kasumi turned her gaze to Haku with a sad smile on her face, and Haku frowned. Yes, Naruto-sama is packing, so I'm going to leave him alone and not bother him for a while, Kasumi said, sending Haku a hidden message. Haku slowly nodded and returned to her room, hoping Naruto would be fine. Kasumi decided to explore the house because she didn't have much to pack. Naruto is involved. Naruto stopped crying after nearly 15 minutes and lay on the bed, sighed, wiped his eyes, and placed the picture on the stand. Naruto was met with silence for a while and decided to simply stay like this for a while. Are you feeling better, Naruto-kun? Naruto gave a tired smile and placed his soft, blonde hair on the bed when Kyuubi asked him. Kyuubi-chan, you're right. I'm perfectly fine. Simply exhausted emotionally. But I'm a little relieved, Naruto said, slightly perplexing the vixen. What exactly do you mean, Naruto-kun? Why are you happy? Kyuubi inquired, genuinely curious. Naruto chuckled softly before making a kai bunshin and completing the process for Kyuubi to come out. Kyuubi stood in her illustrious form, but not for long before Naruto rushed her and gave her a hug, then a surprisingly well-felt kiss. Kyuubi seemed utterly shocked, but it didn't last long before she wrapped her arms around Naruto, deepening the kiss. I'm relieved because I know my Kasan is still alive, and I got to meet the sexiest vixen of all time thanks to her and Tusan. I wasn't satisfied with my earlier years, but I'm much happier now. Kyuubi-chan, I owe you my gratitude, Naruto said with a smile, and Kyuubi nodded as Naruto set his backpack on the floor. Kyuubi sat on the bed and looked around the house while Naruto packed his backpack with all the essentials that he would need on his mission. It took about 2 hours, but Naruto got everything ready for the trip and walked out of his room with Kyuubi. Are you okay, Naruto-sama? Kasumi asked, lunging at Naruto, who smirked and softly rubbed Kasumi's hair before nodding. Kasumi-chan, I'm much better. Sorry for causing you concern. Kasumi shook her head, saying it didn't matter as Naruto went into the yard to simply warm up his body. Kyuubi, Haku, and Kasumi watched him for a while, wondering what he was going to do. Alright, I haven't practiced this yet, so I don't know how good I am with it, Naruto said as he closed his eyes, and everyone watched as dust began to gather around him. Naruto opened his eyes and smiled at Haku. Haku-chan, throw a senbon at me, Naruto said to her. Haku raised an eyebrow, but nodded as she threw 3 senbon at Naruto. Kyuubi and Kasumi watched as the senbon began to reach Naruto, but were stunned when sand from the ground shot up and blocked it. Haku and Kasumi widened their eyes as the sand regressed. I was correct. I knew I had imitated his sand. The control, however, does not feel right. I think I'll need to work on this some more. Haku jumped to her feet and walked out to the yard as Naruto smiled. So you modeled your sand armor after Gaara-san's. Naruto nodded and tried it again. This time the sand swirled around him and suddenly lunged at Haku, who dodged with a backflip. Haku gasped while Naruto snickered. It appears to be automatic. I'm curious why it wasn't automatic the other times I was fighting Gaara. Naruto was perplexed. It's not automatic because you don't have Shukaku in you, thank goodness, Kyuubi said, making Naruto, Haku, and Kasumi laugh before continuing. Shukaku shielded Gaara with sand. Gaara, on the other hand, could use the sand to attack and defend. Attacking required chakra, while defending did not. It takes chakra to attack and defend in your case, Naruto-kun, but don't worry. You'll be fine with your reserves as they are right now. Though sand control is different for me, so you'll have to figure it out for yourself, Naruto sighed and rubbed the back of his head as Kyuubi told the blonde Tokibetsu Jonin. Of course, mastering the sand wouldn't be that simple, Naruto sighed again. Oh well, might as well get this down while I have the time, Naruto said simply before making 100 cage bunchins, while Haku took out her sword and Kasumi decided to practice fighting in her new body. Okay, everyone, come at me so I can put my defense and offense to the test, Naruto said as the sand began to swirl around him. Kyuubi smirked as she summoned 12 fox summons to aid Naruto in his training. Naruto paled as he looked at all his enemies. I hope I'm not too hurt to do my mission, Naruto said before chuckling as the clones charged him with the intent to kill. I hope I'm not too hurt to do my mission, Naruto said before chuckling. The Hokage Mansion. Sarutobi sighed for the 100th time today while signing documents, most of which were for recompense to Suna and Oto for Konoha's damages. Others were simply billings about marriage proposals to Naruto for his estate and future Namikaze children, which Sarutobi denied, all while fussing that it shouldn't matter if Naruto was a Namikaze or not, but that they should marry him for him and nothing else. This can't be good, Sarutobi thought as Sasuke approached the desk and slammed his hands down on the table. Why haven't I been promoted yet, old man? I've been going from mission to mission. Why does that blonde jerk get promoted while I remain a genin? I need to gain strength, so give me more difficult missions and stop wasting my time. Sarutobi took a huge puff of smoke and placed his elbows on the table, while Genma bowed low to the ground for the Hokage's mercy on his student. You are not promoted because you do not behave like a chunin. You act like a cocky brat who believes the world is beneath his feet. Those are not the characteristics of a chunin. I should have you arrested for barging into my office like this, but then I'd have to deal with that pain in the ass council. Now get out of my face, Uchiha. You're getting on my nerves, Sarutobi said while unleashing a kai that made Sasuke shiver. Genma reached out and grabbed Sasuke's collar while dragging him to the door. My sincerest apologies, Hokage-sama, Genma said as they left. Sarutobi sighed again as he heard the complaints that Sasuke was making behind the door. Why did you people build up the boy's confidence so much? He's only one kid. No matter what he thinks, power is something earned through hard work. It's not the Dojutsu Uchiha, it's the person who wields it, Sarutobi said before going back to his paperwork. Still doing all that work and not being able to figure it all out, someone said while Sarutobi grinned. Still peeping on women and getting your ass kicked as usual, Jiraiya, Sarutobi said knowing the mega pervert was behind him. Jiraiya came through the window and offered a smile to his old sensei. I take it you meet Naruto-kun, Sarutobi asked. Jiraiya smirked, but then paled slightly as he remembered his encounter with the blonde. He's a scary kid. Gaki must really be upset with me or my book. Maybe it's both, but he's definitely scary when he wants to be. He's just like his mother in a sense, Jiraiya said with a chuckle. Sarutobi nodded and turned to Jiraiya. I'm getting too old for this job. I know you can't do it because of your spy network, so I'm going to need you, Naruto, and Kiba to go on a mission for me when Naruto gets back from his mission, Sarutobi stated. Jiraiya raised an eyebrow as to the last person on that list. Why the Inuzuka boy? Does he have some connection to Naruto? Jiraiya asked. Sarutobi's chuckle turned a laugh while he slowly took his hat off his head. That Inuzuka is Naruto's best friend. Trust me when I say that if you fought them both at the same time, then even you would need help. He's not only Naruto's best friend, but is also Naruto's. Sarutobi suddenly paused, which irritated Jiraiya. He's Naruto's what? Come on, old man, tell me. Jiraiya insisted as Sarutobi's laughing calmed down. He's technically Naruto's stepson, Sarutobi said with a snicker. Jiraiya widened his eyes at that and gave a devious grin. So the Gaki got with Tsum and Yuzuka, huh? No wonder he seemed so scary. To date, Tsum of all people is near suicide. Even to me, Jiraiya said while Sarutobi nodded. Nevertheless, Naruto and Tsum are dating each other. I also think Naruto might marry her in the later years and combine the Namikaze and Inuzuka compounds, Sarutobi responded. Jiraiya gave a perverted grin while he took out his notepad and started to write. This next book is going to be a sellout. Ika Sexy MILF Edition. A guy goes after his best friend's mother along with the other women around the neighborhood. Oh, yes, Jiraiya said as Sarutobi blushed and rubbed the bridge of his nose. With Tsum was busy doing patrol duty around the village while thinking of her blonde boyfriend, which brought a small smile to her face, but suddenly shuddered while Kuramaru turned to her. What's the matter, Tsum? He asked her. Tsum adopted a thinking pose for a second and closed her eyes. I just feel like I'm going to kill a white-haired man for some reason, Tsum said, baffling Kuramaru, whose sweat dropped at her. What does that mean? He wondered as the two continued their patrol. Naruto is involved. Naruto was covered in cuts and scratches while he blocked a rain of kunai from Haku with his sand. Naruto breathed heavily, but then got extra irritated and launched his sand at a Bunshin, making it dispelled. Everyone stopped their onslaught and looked at Naruto's irritated expression. What's the matter, Naruto-sama? Kasumi asked him. Naruto's breathing slowed as he felt their gazes on him. I think I'm going to kill someone from some reason. I don't know, but it has nothing to do with the mission. It's creeping me out. Oh well, I'll worry about it later. Now then, let's continue, Naruto said with everyone grinning and began charging back at him. Konoha nighttime. Naruto noticed the sun going down and smirked when he saw that he was finished with the clones. Naruto still had the sand swirling around, but it suddenly dropped, showing how tired Naruto was. Alright then, that's training everyone. I think the next few hours should be spent on resting and getting some of our chakra back. Remember, we have to leave before 10, Naruto told them. Everyone nodded and stayed in the house for the next few hours. Naruto decided to bring his bag to the front door and left, leaving Kasumi, Haku, and Kyuubi to talk about various things. Naruto is involved. Naruto walked the streets of Konoha to see some of the people who sneered at him have looks of awe and were actually smiling at him. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he suddenly knew the reason for their immediate change. So you all found out I'm the son of Minato Namikaze. Well, it doesn't matter. If all of you can only smile at me because of my father, then I have nothing to say, Naruto thought as he headed to the Konoha bank. Naruto sighed as he saw the various stairs again. He suddenly found himself glaring at people who thought he was lower than a bug, only to see they were trampling over the fourth sun. Some people smiled and others waved at him. Glares like that, Naruto could do without, unless he changed their views himself. The blonde walked up to the counter and waited for a woman to assist him. Hello, how may I help? Oh, Namikaze-sama, hello, how can I help you? The woman asked with the biggest smile across her face. Naruto sighed heavily, already feeling the discomfort from being called Namikaze-sama. He nonetheless ignored it and gritted his teeth to smile. Hello, I'd like to open a savings account right now. Can I fill out the form? Naruto asked. The woman nodded and gave Naruto a sheet to fill out. It took Naruto less than 5 minutes and handed the form back to her. The woman took the form and smiled again. And how much money would you like to deposit? She asked him. Naruto rubbed the back of his head and smiled, since he was going to expect a reaction from this. I'd like to deposit 7,957,000 yen, Naruto told her. The woman dropped her jaw and turned to the boy before giving a smile. How much did you say? She asked again, feeling she heard wrong. Naruto sighed, since he did indeed expect this. I said I'd like to deposit 7,957,000 yen, Naruto said to her. The woman nodded as Naruto gave her the required money and she sealed it into an envelope. Naruto saw how drained his wallet was, since he only had about 7,000 yen left in his pocket, which was more than enough for right now. The woman still dropped her jaws and added Naruto's name to the list under Namikaze, which slightly pissed him off, but he didn't have the time to care about such things. Naruto exited the bank only to see Tsum walking through the streets. Naruto smirked and managed to sneak up behind her before giving her ass a small smack, which startled Tsum and had her tearing around fast so she could maul the person who did that. Hey Tsum-chan, how is Maya Nuheim doing? Naruto asked. Tsum gaze softened while a smile as she turned to Naruto. Hey Naruto-kun, I heard you have a mission. It looks like I won't see you for a few days, Tsum said with a small smile. Naruto sighed, giving Tsum a kiss on the cheek. Don't worry Tsum-chan, when I get back, I promise to have lots of quality time with you, Naruto said, encoding his words. Tsum chuckled before simply kissing Naruto on the lips while many people stared. Tsum didn't really care, and neither did Naruto. No one else in the world mattered at that moment. Both broke the kiss while Naruto got a gleam in his eyes. I have a few hours. How about I take you on our first date? It can't be as long as I want, but we can still have one, Naruto told her. Tsum nodded with a smile and leaned up. If it's a quick date, then take me to Ikaraku's. I've found myself going there quite often since you got together with me, Tsum told him. Naruto nodded as the couple walked off to the ramen stand. Ikaraku Ramen. Naruto and Tsume came through the curtains and sat on the benches, alerting Iame and Tuchai to their presence. "On Naruto-kun and Tsume-san, you're both here together?" Iame asked. Naruto and Tsume nodded before placing their orders for the father-daughter pair. In the meantime, Tsume and Naruto talked about most of their lives. Tsume told Naruto about Kiba and Hana's father and how he became a missing nin, because the family was getting in the way of him doing what he wanted. Naruto gritted his teeth while his eyes went red. "Do you remember his name, Tsume-chan?" Naruto asked for a future reference. Tsume nodded and looked at the counter. "The bastard was Kobayashi's in Yuzuka. With him gone, I ran the compound. I find it funny that I trust such a worthless guy," Tsume said to him. Naruto narrowed his eyes with a reminder to look for Utara through the bingo book when he had the time. Trying to lighten the mood, Naruto told her how his day went, and about the people calling him Namikaze-sama, which irritated him to no end. Tsume chuckled at and could definitely see why Naruto would be mad at that. All his life he wanted to be recognized as himself, but now he's recognized as the fourth son. Being in the father's shadow is never what a son wants. "Your meal is ready, Tsume-san. Naruto-kun, please eat up," Iame said to them. Both said their thanks and dug into the ramen. Naruto watched Tsume eat hers with a small hint of animal prowess involved. Naruto chuckled at the sight, which made Tsume blush and rub her head. "What? I'm hungry," she said with a slightly cute pout that made Naruto love her even more. The dinner was relatively simple and fast. Naruto gave Tsume a kiss goodbye so that he could start his mission. Tsume waved goodbye also while heading back to the Inuzuka compound. Naruto is involved. Naruto looked at the time and saw that it was getting close to the exact moment of their mission. Naruto shunshined out of sight and appeared in front of the Namikaze compound. He unlocked the seals on the door and went inside to see Haku and Kasumi take a small nap on the couch and carpet. Kyuubi was still up with some water in a cup that she was drinking before glancing at Naruto. "Hey Naruto-kun, are you ready for your mission?" Kyuubi asked. Naruto nodded with a small smile before giving Kyuubi a quick kiss on the lips. Naruto did the same for Haku and Kasumi as both stirred awake. Haku touched her lips while Kasumi blushed and had her tail sway slightly. "That's a good wake-up call, Naruto-sama. I take it that we are to get ready now?" Kasumi asked. Naruto nodded fast and grabbed his bag. Kasumi hinged into her usual dog form and jumped into Naruto's jacket. Haku quickly washed her face and grabbed her things. Kyuubi began to fade and disappeared into the seal as Naruto turned out the lights to the compound. "Alright, let's go," Naruto said as he ran through the trees with Haku in an attempt to make it to the front gates. Gates of Konoha, 9:56 p.m. Naruto and Haku hit the ground and walked up to the entrance and smiled, seeing Kiba and Kurenai waiting for them. "Hey Kiba, hey Kurenai-chan," Naruto yelled. Kiba smirked while Kurenai chuckled before both gave their greetings to Naruto. Naruto and Haku were 7 minutes early and only had to wait for Anko and Kakashi. After 4 minutes, Anko came and gave everyone their greetings, especially Naruto, with involved a wink. "What happened to Kakashi? Please don't tell me he'll be late." Naruto looked at his watch, and everyone sighed as only 1 minute remained before they had to leave. Naruto cursed inwardly, wondering if Kakashi would be late, but Kakashi surprised everyone by arriving on time with 10 seconds to spare. "Yo," said the one-eyed shinobi, and everyone widened their eyes before following Naruto's lead and putting their fingers together. "Kai," everyone said, wanting the Jinjutsu to vanish from their sight. Kakashi sweat dropped and held up one of his hands, his gaze fixed on everyone. "You know, I can be on time when I want to," Kakashi told them as they began to walk past the gates. Naruto led the group into the trees, leaving the village behind. "Okay, everyone, this isn't a level mission. We must stop Oto before they contact Iwa. If we happen to come across Iwa, we will try to fight their forces and destroy the contents they seek. This is my first mission as a Tokubetsu Jonin, so please don't be afraid to tell me if I make any mistakes or if you believe you have a better option than what I have. Let's get started, shall we?" Everyone gasped at Naruto's maturity, especially Kakashi, Anko, and Kurenai, who all smiled and nodded as they followed Naruto to their goal. 2 a.m. A few hours later, Naruto and his team continued running through the trees towards their destination before taking a short break, during which Naruto jumped to the ground and looked around for any sign of enemies, but found none. "Okay, we'll take a 30-minute break before continuing. We should be there in 2 days if we continue at our current pace. So let us take advantage of the opportunity to rest," Naruto informed everyone, and no one objected to his orders to start the fire, get water, and pick up some food. Once everything was in order, Naruto gathered everyone for a quick strategy meeting. "Okay, Jiji told us that 3 Oto shinobi would be meeting with 5 Iwa shinobi. That's 8-6 in our favor. The odds aren't completely stacked against us, but Kakashi and Kurenai-chan. Who would you take with you to deliver an important document if you were an Oto shinobi? Naruto inquired. For a few moments, both Jonin assumed thinking poses as they considered Naruto's question. If I were Oto, I would send 1 Jonin and 2 Chunin, and 3 Chunin and 2 Jonin for Iwa, Kakashi replied. Naruto nodded and returned his gaze to the layout of a map obtained from their Hokage. I'd probably do the same as Kakashi, but reversed, 2 Jonin and 1 Chunin for Oto and 3 Jonin and 2 Chunin for Iwa, Kurenai replied. Naruto nodded and indicated a single location on the map. Naruto thanked Kami for teaching him leadership skills when he was younger, otherwise, he would be a colossal mess right now. That's not to say he wasn't nervous, but he wasn't as nervous as he could have been. Think nothing of it. Naruto-kun, I'm glad I could turn you into a good leader, though I had to really drill those skills into your thick skull, Kyuubi chuckled. Naruto's brow twitched, but he ignored it, smiling and continuing. Alright, so we can all assume that these are at least Chunin and Jonin level people. Alright then, Haku-chan is an all-round type person. You work well with long range, mid-range, and close range. Alright, I want Haku-chan and Kurenai-chan to stay long range. Hopefully we can get the drop on the Chunin and take them out. Anko-chan, Kakashi, Kiba, and I can Haku agreed with Kiba and nodded. Anko appeared skeptical, but she went along with it because she had nothing to add or subtract. Kurenai thought it was a little risky, but it had advantages and disadvantages, and the advantages outweighed the disadvantages, so she agreed. Kakashi nodded and went with it, saying he hadn't found anything worth mentioning. Naruto smiled as he rolled up the map. Alright, that's the plan, now let's rest. By morning, we should be halfway there, and by nightfall the next day, Naruto said. Everyone nodded and began to unwind while discussing other matters. Kakashi approached Naruto, who was eating a fish, and sat. Naruto smiled as he turned to face him. What's the matter, Kakashi-sensei? Naruto inquired of the copy ninja. Kakashi smiled as he looked at the fire. You, Kiba, and Haku have matured. It seems like only a month ago we were students and teachers, Kakashi said as Naruto's sweat dropped. Kakashi-sensei, it was a month ago, but I understand what you're saying. A 13-year-old is leading people more than twice his age into battle. It's amazing yet terrifying. Naruto sighed. Kakashi chuckled before returning his attention to the fire. Don't worry, Naruto. Our comrades aren't going to die. You'll do great. I know you will, which is why I want to teach you my technique. It's called Chidori. I want to teach it to you, Naruto. I have a jutsu in mind for Kiba and Haku, but I want you to learn my move to protect the bonds that you've made with everyone, Kakashi said. Naruto's eyes widened at the revelation, but he suddenly smiled. Thank you, Kakashi. I promise to work hard on it, and if it's used to protect bonds, I'll protect mine with it, Naruto said. Kakashi nodded, and the two soon fell into idle chit-chat until the timer ran out. Okay, everyone, time's up, let's go, Naruto said. Everyone nodded and gathered their belongings. They all returned to the trees and began to run towards their destination. Naruto was proving to be very capable, but his abilities needed to be tested further. After 2 days, Naruto and the others arrived at the meeting point. Naruto had given them all a 15-minute break to review the strategy and rest. The sun was setting and the scene was set. Naruto and the others sat quietly in the trees, watching as 5 Iwa shinobi and 3 Oto shinobi emerged into the plain. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he realized Kurenai's assumption was correct. Oto had 2 Jonin and 1 Chunin, and Iwa had 2 Jonin and 3 Chunin. The Jonin started with Oto and Iwa meeting, while Naruto turned to Kurenai and Haku. As Haku prepared her senbon, the blonde signaled for them to begin. Kurenai began to perform various hand signs as Naruto activated his Byakugan to determine the range. It was almost perfect because the Chunin were further back than the Jonin. Do it, Haku-chan, Naruto said silently. As the needles whistled through the air, Haku nodded and 3 senbon at the Chunin. No one heard the sound as the Chunin from Iwa and 2 from Oto were struck in the neck and died. As the Jonin raised their senses, the enemy gasped and prepared their kunai. Come out, we know you're here, yelled one of the Jonin from Iwa. As Naruto, Kiba, Anko, and Kakashi emerged from the trees, the enemy's forces gasped. Konoha scum huh? Here to stop Oto and Iwa's alliance of your destruction huh? Another Iwa Jonin said as Naruto approached the front. Whether you like it or not, you're all going to get hurt, so just hand over the document and we won't have to kill you, Naruto said. One of them burst out laughing and charged at the blonde. If you want it, try to get it, you little brat, an Oto Jonin told him. Naruto nodded and swung his fire sword at the man. Naruto and the Oto Jonin clashed, sparking the entire conflict as Anko, Kakashi, and Kiba engaged their respective targets. Haku completed her task and went to help Kiba with his problem. Kurenai smirked as she gave the last Oto Chunin an energizing nightmare before silence. Kurenai then obeyed her orders and remained behind in case the enemy sent reinforcements. Naruto is involved. Meanwhile, Naruto was dealing with his own issue, a power struggle between himself and the Oto Jonin. The Jonin was taken aback by Naruto's skill for a genin. "Wow, kid, you're really good. Killing you might put me in a good mood," the man said to Naruto. Naruto smirked and managed to push the man back while maintaining his smirk. "I'd like to see you try. You'll discover I don't die easily. Now then, let's have some fun." Naruto charged at the man, looking for a weak spot as they engaged in a taijutsu fight. Every punch Naruto delivered was either blocked or dodged by the Jonin. It had come to a stalemate, and Naruto wondered if it would turn into a jutsu fight. Naruto backed up as the man smirked. "Gachagaki," the Jonin said after a few hand signs. Naruto smirked as he spun after seeing the tiger seal at the end. "Katen, Gakakyu no Jutsu," yelled the man as he hurled a massive fireball at Naruto. Naruto smirked as he devised the best jutsu defense he could think of. "Kaiten," yelled Naruto as blue chakra swirled around him, blocking the giant fireball and causing a small explosion. The Jonin smirked, but it was short-lived when he saw Naruto had survived. "Well, I'm facing a Hyuga. I should be honored. I get to kill a member of the prestigious Konoha clan," the man said, grinning. Naruto sheathed his fire sword and assumed the Hyuga's gentle fist stance to amuse the man. "Alright, then, show me how insignificant you are in comparison to the main branch of the Hyuga family," Naruto said, adopting a Hyuga persona. As the two fought, Naruto charged at him. In collaboration with Anko, Anko was having little difficulty in her fight, but her opponent was quite skilled. They weren't exactly Jonins, but they knew what they were doing. "Damn bitch, stop moving and fighting," the woman told her. Anko smirked as she deflected another punch, demonstrating the fundamentals of her Hebai Taijutsu stance, which entails being quick and flexible to avoid enemies and strike at the right time. Anko groaned as she planted her foot on the woman's stomach. "I'm not sure what Oto's promotion path is, but it's clear that you're not at my level. Right now, you're just a Chunin level Jonin," Anko said, knocking the woman out with the blunt of her kunai. Anko decided to take her back for some interrogation as a form of relaxation. Anko quickly went to help Kakashi in his fight, but realized he didn't need it. Together with Kakashi, Kakashi threw a kunai, but it was deflected by the Iwa Jonin. Both engaged in a strict taijutsu fight, appearing evenly matched. "Not bad, sharing in Kakashi. I might have to work harder," the Iwa Jonin said as he moved back and quickly went through his hand signs. "Kakashi is going through his own." "Katen, Karyuin Dan no Jutsu," yelled Kakashi as he directed the intense fire at the Iwa Jonin. The Jonin yelled as he slammed his hands on the ground. "Daten, Doriheki," the man said as a massive wall arose and blocked the fire, protecting the man behind it. Kakashi narrowed his eyes at the man, causing the wall to sprout spikes as the copy ninja backflipped away from it. "Daten, Chaiki Dant," yelled the Jonin as he hurled the spikes at Kakashi. Kakashi backed up into a tree, gasping as the spikes slammed into him, causing a loud crash. The Iwa Jonin walked away, smirking. "Take that Konoha scum," he said, but then heard lightning cackling and turned to see Kakashi charging at him. "It's not over until it's over, but it's over for you," Kakashi said as he impaled the man. "Rekiri," yelled Kakashi as lightning flashed from the man's chest. As Kakashi withdrew his hand from the man's chest, the Jonin coughed up blood. "It makes no difference if you defeat me, Konoha will fall, and no one can save you," the man said as he lay in a pool of his own blood. Kakashi sighed and looked down at the man until Anko appeared next to him. "Are you okay, Kakashi?" Anko inquired. Kakashi nodded with a small smile. "I'm fine, Anko. Let's go. Return to Kurenai and wait for reinforcements." "I'll go find Haku and Kiba," Kakashi said. Anko nodded as the two took separate paths. Together with Haku and Kiba, Kiba cursed their good fortune in facing such a tough Jonin. His Daten techniques were extremely powerful and difficult to break. Haku managed to hold her ground, but she had to admit that fighting a Jonin other than Kakashi or Zabuza was difficult. "Alright, little kids, it's time to die," the man said as Kiba stood up and made a familiar hand sign. "Yeah right, Iwa trash, I'm not dying like this," Kiba yelled as Haku stood up. "Kage Bunshin no Jutsu," Kiba yelled as 6 clones appeared. As Kiba and Akamaru charged him, the Jonin raised an eyebrow and smiled. "Haku, I'll buy you some time," Kiba said as Haku nodded. While gathering her chakra, Haku began collecting traces of water found on the ground. The Jonin smirked and made his hand signs. "You think I'll let you finish? You're mistaken," he said as the earth began to tremble. Doryuden no Jutsu, yelled the man as a massive earth dragon began shooting bombs at Kiba. Kiba gritted his teeth and smirked. Renden no Gatsuga, Kiba yelled as he drilled through all of the bombs aimed at him. Kiba managed to spiral into the man, sending him into a tree while smirking tiredly. "Looks like a Chunin can't keep up with a Jonin without help," Kiba said as Haku finished her hand signs with a smirk. "That's what teammates are for, Kiba-san," Haku explained as ice mirrors formed. "Hayaten, Meiki Hyoso," Haku said simply as she entered the ice mirrors. Haku gave the Iwa Jonin a cold glare as he stood up. "Can you keep up with me?" Haku asked as she slashed the Iwa Jonin left and right, the blood from the Jonin falling until he made a hand sign. Chaiki no Boi, said the man as he encased his form in an earth dome, shielding him from Haku's strikes. The man smirked inside his armor, convinced that he was safe. "Let's see what you can do now. Nothing can penetrate this armor," he declared triumphantly. Haku smiled and began a new set of hand signs. "Then show me how tough that armor is," Haku said as she exited the mirrors. As the mirrors got closer to the Iwa Jonin, they began to harden and produce ice spikes on the inside. "Hayaten, cry Hakatanken no Wana," Haku yelled as the ice mirrors closed in on the man, impaling through the earth armor and causing the man to scream in agony. Haku waited a minute before dropping the jutsu to see the man impaled in so many places on his body. Kiba sighed as he approached Haku. "We do what we have to," Kiba explained. Haku, like Kiba, nodded and sighed. "But that doesn't mean we have to like it," Haku said as Kakashi came over to check on them. "Naruto is involved." Naruto wiped some blood from his mouth after the Oto Jonin kicked him. Naruto smirked because the Oto Jonin received the same amount of damage or less. "Well, Hyuga, I pretty much have your form down. There is no way you can hit me," the man said as Naruto narrowed his eyes and then smirked, perplexing the Oto Jonin. "Well, that's not good. I guess I'll try something else," Naruto said as he deactivated the Byakugan. Naruto smirked while flashing his Sharingan, causing the man to gasp. "You're not a Hyuga," the man told the blonde. Naruto smirked as he pulled out his fire and lightning swords, both of which flared violently, magnifying the intensity of red in his eyes. "That's right, I'm the last person you'll ever see. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Believe it," Naruto said with a grin before charging the Oto Jonin in an attempt to end the fight. "I am the last person you will ever see. I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Believe it," Naruto said with a powerful voice as he attacked the Oto Jonin. The man widened his eyes at the Yondame's sun and pulled out a kunai to block Naruto's strike. The blades collided, causing white sparks to fly all over the place. Naruto clenched his teeth against the man's strength and twirled his lightning sword in his right hand, aiming it at the Oto Jonin's neck. When he saw the incoming blade, he ducked, only to see Naruto smile and kick the man across the face, sending him through the grass plains. "I will not let you harm Konoha. Surrender right now," Naruto practically ordered. The man coughed up some blood before scowling and shifting back into his stance, his gaze clashing with Naruto's. "I'll give you the honor of seeing something amazing, brat," the Jonin said as strange markings appeared on his face. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he felt dark, purplish chakra swirl around him. Kakashi and the others were watching Naruto's fight silently because they didn't want to give away their location and wanted to offer Naruto backup only if he needed it. Naruto kept his gaze fixed on the man, but his eyes widened when he abruptly vanished. The blonde turned his head quickly, just enough to deflect a strike to the head. "What's the matter, Gaki? Am I too fast for you?" the man inquired as he vanished. Anko rubbed her curse seal subconsciously, trying to remember how the man was fighting Naruto. When Naruto was slammed into a tree and slumped to the ground, everyone tensed. Naruto attempted to get up and counter, but the man was too fast, seemingly dancing around Naruto at breakneck speed, further injuring the blonde Jinchuriki. Kiba and Haku both screamed as they prepared their weapons to stop the man from hurting Naruto, but they were stopped by Kakashi. "Kakashi-sensei, I can't watch my best friend get killed. Move," Kiba yelled, but Kakashi didn't move. Kakashi was eager to see it. Naruto's innate ability, the thing that set him apart from the crowd. "Kiba, let us trust Naruto here. We won't always be there to help him. This is his first mission as a team leader. Naruto knows the plan, and we did our parts. Now we must let him do his," Kakashi said to the Inuzuka. Kiba clenched his teeth and balled his fist, but complied and withdrew his kunai while continuing to observe. "Well, I didn't see this coming at all," Naruto thought as his body shook from the damage. Hyuga appeared to be working almost non-stop to heal his injuries, but he was getting too many, so she had to concentrate on the more dangerous ones. "Naruto-kun, you can't give up here. I don't want to lose you to anyone, and someone else doesn't either, Kyuubi said, causing Naruto to slowly stir. He forced himself to look up, and what he saw stunned him. Kasumi appeared to have decided to fight her own fight and take on the Oto Jonin in order to prevent him from reaching Naruto. As he watched Kasumi fight, Naruto felt a wave of guilt wash over him. I'm not going to let you hurt Naruto-sama, Kasumi yelled as she kicked the Jonin in the face, but it was in vain as he countered with a fast punch and threw her into a tree. While the man advanced on Naruto, his rage grew. He exclaimed in surprise when he saw Kasumi struggle to her feet despite her pain. Naruto mentally yelled, "Kasumi-chan, stay down, don't fight," as she charged back at the man. As the dog girl huffed, Kasumi slammed her head into his chest with a TSGA, blasting him into a tree. She wasn't used to fighting in this form, and simple taijutsu was tiring her out, but she'd be damned if Naruto got hurt just because she couldn't do human taijutsu. Kasumi smiled as she walked over to Naruto's battered form and offered her assistance. "Naruto-sama, are you okay?" Kasumi ran over to him, but she didn't make it before the same Jonin lunged at her throat. Kasumi clenched her teeth as her windpipe was crushed. Naruto rose to his feet, but only for a moment before the man turned to face him. "You said you were a namikaze, pathetic, and to think I actually feared you for a split second. Don't make me laugh," he said, snapping his fingers. In a futile attempt to cover his ears, Naruto screamed. "You like my Kekai Genkai Gaki?" the man asked, seeing Kasumi desperately trying not to scream from the high-pitched noise on her sensitive ears. While huffing, Naruto reached out his hand and grabbed the man's boots. "Don't touch her with your filthy ha." Naruto couldn't finish before being kicked across the fields again, while the man laughed maniacally as he squeezed Kasumi's throat harder, causing her to choke. Naruto's Sharingan erupted in rage, and Kiba turned to face Kakashi. "Damn it, Kakashi-sensei, how much longer? I've got to help," Kiba yelled as he dashed past everyone and ran at the Jonin. Naruto's eyes widened as he watched his best friend approach Kiba. "TSGA," Kiba yelled as he spun violently towards the man. But his attack was deflected when the Oto Jonin leapt into the air. Kiba gritted his teeth, but gasped when the Jonin appeared in front of him and snapped his fingers, causing Kiba to yell in pain until the Jonin slammed him into the ground. "It's all too easy, Gaki. So much for the leader. I'm sure your other friends abandoned you when they saw this. That's all I can think of when I don't see anyone else helping you other than this mutt and this bitch in my hand," he said, his hair covering his eyes. Kakashi, Anko, Kurenai, and Haku all narrowed their eyes in rage at the man's insult to Naruto's leadership of their mission. But they remained motionless. "Come on, Naruto. Show him he's wrong. Make him regret everything," Kakashi said mentally as the man picked up Kiba by the throat and walked over to Naruto. "You know, I happened to glance at your team and you had a good-looking woman with purple hair. She'd fetch a hefty sum in the slave trades. Maybe I'll look for her and sell her off after some fun," the man said, his eyes wide with rage. When Kyuubi heard that, she gasped. Naruto valued everyone, she knew. He saw everyone as equal, and hearing a man say that was sickening. "Hell, I might even sell this dog girl right here. There are some guys who like that kind of thing," he said, gritting his teeth. Kasumi gradually stopped struggling and her arms fell to her sides as Naruto's Sharingan began to twist and turn in an unusual shape. "I'm surprised you've lasted this long, Gaki, but I have things to do. I guess I'll have some fun before I kill you," the man said, bringing his mouth closer to Kasumi's. As red chakra leaked from Naruto's body, he became enraged. Naruto exploded. Kyuubi couldn't stop him. If it was the last thing he ever did, he was going to kill that guy. Naruto rose to his feet in front of the stunned man, his eyes seemingly bleeding. Kakashi, Anko, and Kurenai all gasped, but Haku was perplexed by Naruto's new set of eyes. "Kakashi, what's up with those eyes? They seem so different from the Sharingan," Haku said after a few seconds of silence from Kakashi. Anko and Kurenai turned to face him as Kakashi explained, still stunned. "It's the next level of the Sharingan, the thing that nearly stands above the rest. It's called the Mangekyo Sharingan. It allows the wielder control over time and space, bending it to his will with one eye and the other. Judgment of black flames that people claim are from heaven. Only 2 people I know have unlocked it, Itachi Uchiha and Madara Uchiha. To think Naruto achieved such a form. But Kakashi, don't you have to kill your best friend to reach that level?" Anko inquired, and Kurenai nodded. Kakashi did indeed nod, but Naruto appeared to be different. "I'm not sure if it's the mental trauma of seeing all of us threatened by his words, but Naruto's attained the Mangekyo Sharingan," Kakashi said, drawing everyone's attention back to Naruto. Naruto approached the man, all fury in his eyes, his newly attained Mangekyo Sharingan flaring. Naruto's stare was so intimidating that the man had to drop a coughing Kasumi and Kiba as both squinted and watched Naruto pass them before stopping and staring at Kasumi. Kasumi flinched slightly under his gaze, but her eyes widened when Naruto knelt down to kiss her forehead and smiled. "I'm not going to let anyone hurt you anymore, Kasumi-chan. Stay there and rest," Naruto said. Naruto slowly placed his head on the grass, and Kasumi nodded. He then turned and smiled at Kiba. "Thank you, Kiba, I'll make this jerk pay," Naruto said. Kiba gave a painful chuckle and nodded, while Naruto returned the man's cold, hard stare. "You threatened my loved ones, plan to rape and sell them off. I won't forgive you, and I'll make you pay," Naruto said calmly before the man laughed. "Show me what you've got, brat, and I'll end your pathetic existence right now," he retorted before charging at Naruto. As the blood slowly seeped out, Naruto closed his eyes. "Die!" yelled Naruto, opening his eyes, which seemed to strain on the Jonin's form before he was gradually covered in black flames. Everyone gasped as the man screamed in agony. Naruto didn't stop as Kasumi and Kiba marveled at Naruto's new ability. "HHH. Get them off. What is this jutsu?" screamed the man as he was burned alive. However, he did not receive an answer because he was burning to ashes and his screams were muffled. Naruto felt a sharp pain in his right eye and quickly closed it before placing his hand over it. Naruto fell to the ground, gripping his eyes as the black flames slowly dissipated. Everyone in the bushes ran to him, Kiba and Kasumi. "Are you okay, Naruto?" Kakashi inquired. Naruto took a deep breath, not wanting to respond but deciding to do so anyway. "Not really, Kakashi-sensei. Because my eyes are killing me, and I think I put too much chakra into that technique," Naruto said between heavy breaths. While Naruto slumped to the ground, Kakashi chuckled and slowly picked Naruto up and helped the blonde to a tree. He didn't, or couldn't, open his eyes. He tried, but something made him keep them shut. "Why can't I open my eyes, Kyuubi-chan?" Naruto asked his vixen. Kyuubi finally established the mental link necessary to communicate with her blonde in a few words. "Seal." "Now," Kyuubi said as he cut the connection. Naruto gulped but continued to focus on his mindscape. Naruto appeared in the beautiful plains and looked around for Kyuubi, but before he could react, Kyuubi slapped Naruto across the face, causing the blonde Jinchuriki to shift his stance so he didn't fall to the ground. Naruto turned to see Kyuubi crying, his eyes widening. "Kyuubi-chan?" Naruto inquired as Kyuubi turned around, her back to Naruto. While facing Kyuubi, the blonde rubbed the side of his cheek and looked at the ground. He could tell she was irritated. He let his emotions control his actions once more, and it was easy for him to be killed that way. But he made it right. He was only looking to protect his comrades. "I'm sorry, Kyu-chan. I don't have an excuse for what I did, but I couldn't live with the thought of him doing that to the people I cared about. I'm sorry if I used your chakra, but I was angry at the time, and I'm just sorry," Naruto said, bowing to her. Kyuubi shifted her gaze to him and muttered something in her head before approaching him and slamming her lips into his. The action effectively knocked Naruto back, but he quickly recovered and easily dominated Kyuubi's mouth. Both of their tongues battled for dominance, but Naruto easily won while gently guiding Kyuubi into the grass. To Kyuubi's chagrin, Naruto paused for a split second and locked his blue eyes on her red, slitted ones. "Do you forgive me, Kyuubi-chan?" Naruto inquired. Kyuubi closed her eyes and smiled before poking Naruto in the head. "Of course I do," Kyuubi replied as the two continued their makeout session, which resulted in a lot of rolling around on the soft mindscape grass. After about 20 minutes of intense kissing, Naruto and Kyuubi sighed and leaned up against a tree. "I'm truly sorry, Kyuubi-chan," Naruto admitted to his vixen. Kyuubi chuckled and ruffled his hair before kissing him on the cheek. "I understand your reasoning, Naruto-kun. I just don't like how you handled it. Well, it got better down the end anyway," Kyuubi replied, blushing with embarrassment. Naruto chuckled before returning to a problem he was having. "So, Kyuubi-chan, why am I unable to open my eyes right now?" Naruto inquired. Kyuubi sighed as she watched some of the kits around her interact with one another. "It appears that you have attained the next level of the Sharingan, Naruto-kun. It's called the Mangekyo Sharingan. What you did was one of its techniques called Amaterasu. You cast black flames on the Jonin and burned him alive. Those flames are like purgatory flames. They can't be quenched or die. They are eternal flames unless you have direct control over it. There is also a technique called Tsuke." Naruto nodded as he heard his friends calling him. "Alright, thanks Kyuubi-chan. I'll see you later," Naruto said as he walked away, seeing Kyuubi wave goodbye. Away from the mindscape, Naruto gradually opened his eyes, though it hurt for a while before they could fully open. Naruto could only see blurry shapes of people he hoped were his friends, but hearing their voices calmed him down. "Hey guys, are we done?" Naruto inquired. Everyone nodded, even though he couldn't see it, and after a few minutes, they all came into view of Naruto's eyes as the blonde sighed. "Alright, we should get some rest. We did well here, and there don't appear to be any more people. Let's go before we have more to deal with," Naruto said as he walked over to a sleeping Kasumi, and took her in his arms as everyone rushed to the nearest town, which was only about 15 minutes away. Main Street. Everyone trudged into town, tired as they were, but they all made their way to a random hotel, not caring where they slept right now. "Alright, I'll put us up for the night and get us some food, so let's go register," Naruto said. As they entered the hotel, everyone almost drooled at the prospect of getting something to eat. While the others dropped their belongings and sat in chairs, Naruto went to the front desk to register. "Hello, can we please have some rooms?" Naruto asked, struggling to keep his eyes open due to the pain. A woman nodded and told him about the rooms, but Naruto was unconcerned and took 6 keys. "Alright, everyone. We'll stay here and return to Konoha tomorrow. Let's go," Naruto said as he handed out keys to everyone. Kiba, Naruto, and Kasumi were in one room, Anko and Kurenai in another, and Haku and Kakashi in the last. Naruto settled into their room with Kiba, while Kasumi was easily placed on the bed. Naruto noticed Kasumi breathing slowly, indicating that she was having a pleasant dream. Despite the mission, Naruto was relieved to see her sleeping peacefully. Naruto groaned, drawing Kiba's attention away from him. "What's up, Naruto?" Kiba inquired of his friend. Naruto sat on the bed, calmly running his fingers through Kasumi's hair. "It's just that I should have been able to beat that guy. I know in the end I did, but you and Kasumi-chan had to get hurt in the process. It just shows I'm not ready to lead," Naruto said. "Naruto," Kiba raised an eyebrow before grinning. "Well, anything can happen on a mission, I guess. I certainly didn't expect that guy to have so much power, but you won in the end, and I think that's all that matters," Kiba said, his face contorted in shock. "What?" Kiba asked, unable to see the issue. Naruto stared at the ground, his mouth agape. "You think? I never would have guessed," Naruto chuckled. Kiba raised an eyebrow before retorting by hurling a pillow in Naruto's face as the blonde laughed. Kiba smiled as he shook his head at his friend and his games. "Whatever, man. I'm going to bed. Good night," Kiba said. "What are you going to do?" Naruto shrugged and made his way to the door. "I won't be gone long. I'll just get something to drink and then I'll follow you to bed as well," Naruto said, turning off the light and watching Kiba sleep and Kasumi sleep. He slowly turned his head to see Anko and Kurenai's room light out, as well as Haku and Kakashi's. "Looks like my wallet is safe, and no one wants to eat, so I'll go get a drink," Naruto said as he walked out of the hotel and around town. He noticed the various lights up around town before coming to a halt in front of a random bar. It was not his custom to drink well, anything alcoholic, but he wondered if most leaders did this after a difficult mission. He didn't know or care and simply shrugged his shoulders before entering. Naruto noticed a variety of people in the room, ranging from shinobi from other villages to lowly bandits looking for a quick buck. "Yup, really don't know why the hell I'm here. I completed my mission, but why the hell am I here?" Naruto pondered before taking a seat at the bar counter. While looking around, Naruto noticed some bandits gathered around a woman with red hair, but he assumed it was a woman looking for quick cash to spend, so he ignored it. Naruto abruptly turned his head to meet a man in front of him, who had the biggest smile on his face. "Hey kid, aren't you a little young to be here?" the guy asked, scowling and pointing to Naruto's headband. "Hey, you're old enough to kill, old enough to drink a few shots of liquor, and you need the money, don't you?" Naruto inquired. The man twitched his brow until he patted Naruto on the shoulder. "That's true, kid. I like your style. What do you want?" he inquired. Naruto didn't know the first thing about strong drinks, but Kyuubi taught him how to use some of them for medicinal purposes. "Because I don't know what my limit is here," Naruto said, "I'll play it safe and just give me a bottle of some not so strong liquor and a saucer." The man nodded and walked away, leaving Naruto alone with his thoughts. It still amazed him how many times he told himself that he would never be like those people who showed up in these types of places, and yet here he was. After about 10 minutes, Naruto was handed the bottle and saucer, and he poured some of the liquor into the saucer before taking a drink. It wasn't strong enough to dry his throat or tongue, so he complied until he heard Kyuubi chuckle at him. "I never thought of you as a drinker, Naruto-kun," Kyuubi said, shrugging his shoulders. It felt good to have someone to talk to even if they weren't physically present so no one thought you were insane. "Hey, you can let me out, and then you can talk to me without anyone thinking you're insane," Kyuubi added. Naruto smiled and nodded, telling the man he'd be right back. Naruto returned about 3 minutes later with Kyuubi wrapped around his arm, and he already regretted it. Too many guys were eye-humping her with their eyes, which irritated him. Kyuubi enjoyed seeing her blonde's jealous expression. "Holy cow kid, where did you get such a babe?" the guy inquired. Naruto rolled his eyes but found it amusing when he heard several guys complaining about him and his luck. While Naruto decided to respond, Kyuubi took a seat next to him. "She's been with me for a long time, and she's all mine," Naruto stated emphatically, making Kyuubi blush. The man blanched and backed away from the blonde. "Hey kid, it's alright. You can have her. I'm not that kind of guy," he said, smirking. It was all too simple to keep people away from Kyuubi, not that she cared. Kyuubi didn't want such shady people staring at her body in that way. Naruto was all she needed for that. Kyuubi took a sip of Naruto's liquor, and it made her smile that he got it so weak because he didn't want to get drunk like most people. "How are you, Natsuki-chan?" Naruto inquired. Kyuubi licked her lips as she slowly smiled at the masked name. "I guess it's okay. I've had stronger liquor before, but I don't feel like getting drunk," Kyuubi muttered lowly as Naruto smiled. Soon after, the red-haired woman who was being hit on by some of the guys approached Naruto and took the empty seat next to him, but she had her head covered. The only way you could tell she'd read her hair was because the cover didn't go all the way around, leaving some of her vibrant hair exposed. She seemed to be inspecting Naruto for something as she turned her gaze to him. "Aren't you a little young to be in here?" she asked abruptly. Naruto had two options at that point. He could have ignored her and gone about his business, or he could have spoken to her. He didn't want to be rude, so he went with the latter, even if it was with an unknown person. "Technically, no. I have my headband, so I'm an adult," Naruto said, laughing. "However, I have enough sense not to drink what most of you adults drink and get wasted." "I suppose you have a point. Some people don't know how to take no for an answer," she simply stated as Naruto turned his head to see the majority of the guys knocked out. Naruto wiped his brow before turning to face the woman. "I had no idea you were the violent type," the blonde said as the woman shifted slightly in her seat. "Am I being violent right now?" she inquired. Naruto shook his head in disbelief, though she didn't seem like the type of person you'd mess with unless you had a very good reason. The woman then turned her gaze to his sword, raising an eyebrow at the exquisite design on which it was sheathed. "I see you have two swords. Do you practice any kind of kenjutsu?" she inquired. Naruto gave her a sidelong glance before taking another sip of his sake. He noticed she also had a sword. It was roughly the same size as his swords, but it wasn't at all like them. "Yeah, I do. I'm not what you'd call a master, but I could give anyone a run for their money," Naruto said, smiling. Since they were conversing, she decided to order a bottle as well. Kyuubi simply observed the conversation, but she had a feeling that something significant was going to happen sooner or later, and she was going to be there to witness it. Naruto and the woman talked for about an hour more, and things were going well so far. She explained that she was originally from Konoha and had left due to some issues. Naruto, in turn, told her about his early years and his rejection by most people. The vibrant redhead was irritated at the thought of a young man being alone and without anyone to look after him. That she thought that calmed his heart, but he told her that he already had people he cared about in the village, so it was fine. The woman wanted to respond, but decided against it in order to maintain a pleasant conversation. "Are you sure you should be up this late?" she appeared to inquire. Naruto scoffed and looked down at his half-empty bottle before turning to face Kyuubi. Kyuubi remained as wide awake as ever. She claimed she didn't require as much sleep as the average person. Naruto widened his eyes and wondered why she had to sleep so much. Kyuubi sheepishly grinned and rubbed the back of her head, explaining that she was simply lazy and didn't want to do anything. Naruto rolled his eyes before returning his gaze to the woman and resting his elbow on the table. "I'm fine. I'm used to staying up past this. Besides, my team and I finished our mission, so I'm going to Konoha tomorrow and get permission from Jiji to go look for my mother. My father left a note saying she was alive, and I'm going to find her and bring her home with me," Naruto said, his eyes gleaming with confidence as Kyuubi, the bartender, and the woman glared at him. Naruto raised an eyebrow, blushing slightly in embarrassment. "Wow, listen to me, tell my dreams to two strangers," Naruto said as they both cackled at him. "Hey kid, sometimes it's good to unload your troubles and just talk to someone," the bartender said as he washed a glass. Kyuubi and the woman sitting next to Naruto both smiled. Before the woman asked him another question, Naruto nodded. "So, who is your mother? Perhaps someone here has seen her?" she asked. Naruto took out a note and checked it with Minato before returning it. "Her name is Kushina Uzumaki, and my father says she's still alive," Naruto replied. Naruto grabbed her and steadied her back onto her seat after she faltered completely backwards. "Are you alright?" Naruto inquired. The woman appeared to be having difficulty breathing, which concerned Naruto, Kyuubi, and the bartender. She turned to the blonde and rested her arm on his shoulder, as if she was trying to process what he had just said to her. Your what's name?" she inquired. Kyuubi and the bartender both looked at the woman suspiciously, while Naruto looked at her impassively. "Why, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze?" he inquired. The woman's eyes widened and she burst into tears. Naruto froze and put his hand on her shoulder. Are you alright? Did I say something wrong?" Naruto inquired. The woman shook her head quickly, then hugged Naruto as if she was trying to squeeze him to death. "Why, you're alive? How? Why? When?" She asked so many questions that Naruto couldn't answer because they were too quick to respond and due to a lack of oxygen in his lungs. Lady. Air. I need air," exclaimed Naruto. The woman blushed and nodded before releasing Naruto, allowing him to fully use his lungs once more. "Alright then, what happened?" Naruto inquired. The woman quickly removed her cover and showed Naruto, Kyuubi, and the bartender her vibrant red hair. "You're Naruto-kun, my Sachai-kun," she exclaimed. Naruto's eyes widened before they both fell to the floor as a result of another hug, which caused Kyuubi and the bartender to gasp. "Databeo, that hurt like hell," Naruto said, causing the woman to smile and hug him even tighter. "No doubt, you're my Sachai-kun Databane," she replied. Naruto looked at her and saw tears streaming down her cheeks. Naruto wrapped his arms around himself, hoping it wasn't a dream. He gently stroked her red hair while she traced his blonde hair. "Why, you're my Kasen?" Naruto asked, tears welling up in his eyes. The woman just shook her head, as if telling herself and him to believe everything. "Yes, I'm Kushina Uzumaki. You're my Naruto-kun. You're my Sachai-kun," Kushina said, as Kyuubi smiled and turned to face the bartender. "How much for the small liquor?" Kyuubi asked, laughing. He then waved it away, saying it was on the house because it was a special occasion. It's not every day that a mother and son are reunited. Kyuubi simply nodded and turned around to see the two on the floor still hugging each other. Only her small, but distinct cough caused the two to come to a halt and blush with embarrassment. Both quickly returned to their seats as Kushina examined Naruto. "My Sachai has become a shinobi. I can't believe you're still alive. They said you died after the extraction," Kushina said, raising an eyebrow alongside Kyuubi. "Who said that, Kasan?" "I've always been alive," Naruto interrogated her. Kushina narrowed her eyes as she searched her memories for the individuals. "It was Koharu, Hamura, and Danzo on the civilian council, and they said you and Minato died with Kyuubi, so I left," Kushina responded. That information nearly turned Naruto's eyes red. He would have exploded right there if his mother hadn't been there. "Gotta talk to some people about keeping secrets from me," Naruto reasoned with a devious smile that made Kushina wonder what he was thinking. But he ignored it. She couldn't give a damn about anything else right now. "How's Konoha, Naruto-kun? What's been going on? Do you have a girlfriend? What rank do you hold in the shinobi system?" "Whoa, Kasan, one at a time. You're talking too fast here," Naruto snickered, while Kushina blushed but still hugged him. Naruto returned the hug before Kushina looked down at the liquor and squeezed Naruto even tighter. "Then the first question is, why are you drinking alcohol in a bar this late?" Kushina asked, putting a tick mark on the question. Naruto gulped and decided to retort, which was probably a bad idea, but he was trying to be the alpha male after all. "What about you, Kasan? You shouldn't be out this late either, especially since such shady people can come up on you out of nowhere and you'd be down for the count," Naruto said, turning his gaze to the still unconscious bandits. Kushina scratched her cheek and turned her head. "Good point, Sachai-kun," Kushina said, paying for her drink. As Kyuubi followed them out of the bar, Naruto did the same. For a while, Naruto followed Kushina around, both of them simply enjoying the late night air. "So, Kasan, where have you been since you left?" Naruto inquired. Kushina smiled as she pointed to a small building to her left. "Right there, Sachai. It's kinda small, but it suited me perfectly. However, I'm going to pack it all up. I'm not as good a sealer as your father, but I can get this done in a few hours. Sachai-kun, I'm sorry that I left you to survive on your own. I can only imagine the loneliness and hurt you must have gone through," Kushina said as Naruto gave her a simple hug and smile. "It's okay, Kasan. I didn't like it when you left, but I can forgive you. I'll put it behind me, and I want you to do the same. We'll just start here as mother and son," Naruto added. Kushina nodded calmly and let out a soft cry. Kyuubi simply smiled and vanished into the seal, deciding not to make a fuss for the time being. You should see it now, Kasan. No one in the village calls me a demon anymore, Naruto said. Kushina flinched slightly at the name and mentally cursed anyone who dared to call him that in front of her. She'd send them on a one-way trip to hell with no chance of returning. Oh, and what do they call you, Sachai-kun? Kushina inquired, the kai dripping from her body. Naruto gulped and scooted away. But Kushina wouldn't let him go, inching closer with a too innocent smile to be real. They now call me Namikaze-sama, Naruto said, prompting Kushina to back up and gently giggle at the name. Naruto sweat dropped and watched Kushina's hand tremble slightly as veins began to show, revealing how hard a fist she was making. Mothers are terrifying, Naruto thought. After a while, Kushina calmed down, and the two had a long conversation while Naruto helped Kushina pack her belongings. It was extremely beneficial to have Kage Bunshin's assist with all of the work. What would have taken Naruto and Kushina 4 hours to complete took only an hour or two. All of the scrolls were sealed with Kushina's items, and Naruto discovered some interesting facts about his mother. You're a Kenjutsu legend? Naruto inquired. Kushina nodded, confirming that she was one at the time. But she hadn't been active in a while, so it had probably died down. That's right, Sachai. All the people who came at me. I cut them all down without a hint of hesitation. I was called the Red Death. All people saw was a red blur from my hair before they fell to the ground, Kushina said, his face filled with that all too innocent smile that made Naruto sweat. Suddenly, the blonde had an idea and turned to face his mother with a sly grin. Hey, Kasan, would you teach me Kenjutsu? I'm good, but I'd like to learn my mother's techniques if possible, Naruto begged his mother. Naruto defeating enemies with her techniques made Kushina smile, and the idea wasn't so bad after all. Alright, Sachai-kun, I don't mind, but be prepared, I'm not going to hold back just because you're my son, Kushina replied, making sure Naruto understood what she was saying. Naruto clenched his fist and pumped his fist in the air. Bring it on, Kasan, I'll take whatever you throw at me and then some databao, Naruto said. Kushina nodded, her gaze fixed on the clean and completely empty house. It perplexed her why she hadn't learned the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu before leaving. It would have made her life a lot easier. Well, Kasan, I have to go. I was supposed to be back hours ago, but something interesting happened, so I'll come pick you up tomorrow morning, Naruto said. Kushina nodded and yawned before heading to bed, but not before giving Naruto one more hug as the blonde left. Naruto smiled the entire way back to the hotel. Except for Tsume, Kasumi, Hana, and Kyuubi, he had never been happier in his life. Good save, Naruto-kun, Kyuubi said, astounded Naruto. Naruto chuckled but nodded as he walked up to his room in the hotel. He wasn't sure how late it was, but he guessed it was around 2 a.m., if not later. Naruto inserted the key into the lock and opened the door to find Kiba and Akamaru sleeping. But Kasumi was wide awake and smiling at the sight of her blonde entering the room. Naruto-sama, I was worried when I didn't see you anywhere, so I just waited. Where did you go? Kasumi asked, her tail swaying back and forth. Naruto smiled wide as hell as he stripped off his clothes and remained in nothing but his t-shirt and boxers, making Kasumi blush. Sorry, Kasumi-chan. I went for a longer than planned walk and came back with a lot more than I bargained for, Naruto mysteriously told her. Kasumi raised an eyebrow at what piqued his interest. Kasumi followed Naruto into the bed, wrapping her arms around his body and bringing him close. Naruto shifted in his bed, coming face to face with Kasumi, and ran his hand through her raven black hair softly. Thank you, Kasumi-chan. You fought so hard for my sake. I'll train harder to make sure that doesn't happen to you again, Naruto said calmly. Kasumi smiled and placed her hand on his. It's okay, Naruto-sama. I'd gladly fight if it meant you'd live. I love you, Naruto-sama, Kasumi admitted. Naruto smiled and kissed her on the cheek, which she gratefully accepted. Both quickly fell asleep, eager to return home and meet an interesting visitor. The following morning. It was a very early morning. The sky was foggy as well, but not too bad for the trip back to Konoha. Ironically, Naruto was the first to awaken and dispatched a Kage Bunshin to fetch his mother while he dressed. Kiba and Akamaru followed him, as did Kasumi, as everyone grabbed their belongings and opened the door to see the others up and about. Did everyone get a good night's sleep? Naruto inquired. While Naruto paid for the stay, everyone nodded and followed him downstairs into the lobby. After everything was said and done, they went to the town's front gates until Naruto stopped them. How are you, Naruto? Did you forget something? Kiba inquired. Everyone became intrigued by Naruto and narrowed their eyes to the mysterious smile on his face. Not Kiba, I forgot someone, Naruto decoded. Everyone was even more intrigued than before, and they all waited for a few minutes before leaving until they all noticed a lone figure in the fog. Kakashi strained his vision, but the fog was too dense. Everyone was puzzled until a red-haired woman emerged, a sword strapped to her back and a backpack on her back. As their jaws hit the ground, Kakashi, Anko, and Kurenai widened their eyes. Nobody knows how Kakashi's mask stayed on his face, but the three Jonin were certainly taken aback. Hiba, Haku, and Kasumi were all curious about the woman before she made her presence known to Naruto. Hey Sachai-kun, sorry for the delay, I had to unseal something special for Sarutobi, Kushina explained. Hiba and Haku were stunned when they heard those words. As Sachai-kun, then that's Naruto's both paused as Naruto was about to finish their thought. It's okay, Kasan, we were about to leave anyway, Naruto said before turning to face everyone else. Kakashi passed Naruto so quickly that the blonde thought Kakashi had learned the Haraishin. Kushina-san, how are you doing? Where have you been? Are you returning to the village? Kakashi inquired. Naruto almost felt jilted, but he didn't care too much. Kushina chuckled and patted Kakashi on the shoulder before looking into his left pocket and tightening her grip, making the copy ninja wince in pain. I thought I told you not to read those books, Kakashi, Kushina said, his face flushed. Naruto laughed at Kakashi's expense until Kasumi called his attention to her. Is that your mother, Naruto-sama? Kasumi inquired. While Kasumi examined Naruto, he nodded with a genuine smile. You wouldn't think the two were related based on their red hair, but there was something that connected her to Naruto. Maybe it was because they smelled the same to Kasumi. Well, Sachai-kun, we can introduce ourselves on the way back. Now tell me about Konoha and Sarutobi so that I can give both of them a proper welcome, Kushina said, cleaning her sword and smiling. Naruto, Anko, Kurenai, Kakashi, and Kiba all looked pale. She's mad at someone, and I sure hope it's not me, they all thought before Naruto called everyone's attention to himself. Alright, everyone, it's time to go, so hurry up, Naruto told them. Everyone agreed and dashed into the trees, with Kushina looking back at the town and giving a small smile as they all vanished into the fog. Somewhere in the plains, hidden, there was an intense burn mark on the ground where the fierce battle between Konoha, Iwa, and Odo took place, and a shadow was hidden in the forest that had stayed there all night remembering that incident. What did I just see? That jutsu. It can't be. I need to tell Tsuchikage-sama about this right away. That damn Namikaze family has returned to haunt us. Tsuchikage will be pleased with this result, the shadowed figure said before vanishing completely. Another shadow appeared in another part of the forest, but it, too, was wearing the Kumo headband, having witnessed the fight. I can't believe I got to witness one of the most powerful Katen jutsus in existence. Not even your Katen jutsus can compete with that, the witness said. Hey, I resent that. I'm not as good as that, but I still pack a punch. And speaking of punches, that blonde was too damn hot. I'd love to have a go at him any day, another shadowy figure said as they licked their lips. Stop being a pervert. We might as well report this to Reikage-sama. That was one interesting match, the figure told its partner. Yeah, doesn't his body just make you want to go at it all week long? That's not what I meant, retorted the figure. No, but that's what I meant. If we see him again, you better bag him, kitten. Reikage's orders or not. You can't let such a cute kami get away from you. How come you're such a pervert? I enjoy messing with you because it fills a void in my otherwise dull life in here. As soon as you get some action, I'll try to stop being a pervert. Emphasis on the word try. Ugh, what am I going to do with you? Said the figure before vanishing from view.
So this was it for today. I will continue the story next part. Till then, we weave offline.